What's up, G-Man?
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos. Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Knicks at Night podcast. I'm your man, Uncle Freezy. I'm joined by G-Man for life, a.k.a. Sergeant Knicks, and also the advocate comedian Knicks Gas. Hey, how are y'all, fellas?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon.
What's good? Hey, Freezy, I'm going to tell you right now, brother. I can tell by the sound of your voice right now, right? You need a little bit of energy. So I'm gonna tell the chat right now. Tonight is not the night for everybody to lay back on your laurels and just kind of chill. We want the chat involved in what's going on up in this piece tonight. We're here for you guys. So enjoy what we got going on.
And today's a celebration, guys. Today is Julius Randle just received the most improved player of the year. So we gotta celebrate.
Bam. I'm super excited about Julius Randle winning a postseason award. So this is two acknowledgments of Julius Randle's greatness. So there is the All-NBA third team and the most improved player. And how it was delivered is kind of like how father and sons are supposed to do stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For little man to come out there and give his pops a national award was priceless. So for those of y'all out there that have sons or one day will, you will understand how priceless that moment was. Yeah, right. Man.
Facts.
You know, if you go back to when you go and watch videos of Steph Curry when he's a 3-year-old, or he's a 4-year-old in Toronto when his father was playing. So it's great to see that because, you know, you never know. Maybe Kylan might be the future of the NBA. We don't know. So it's great to see him in that position.
Yeah, man. G-Man, I'm excited about the fact that the national media is finally acknowledging the Knicks' existence. You know what I mean? Because there have been seasons where you felt like a Knick should have been in a conversation for one of the awards, and they blew right by us.
You know, it's amazing that you bring that point out, right? I'm gonna tell you what I think is going on right now. I think that for so long this season, the mainstream media held out as long as they could without mentioning the New York Knicks. But what the Knicks said is, I'm gonna use a phrase from what's the movie? Independence Day. We will not go quietly into the night, and we're gonna make you talk about us. That's what's going on.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, just the numbers don't even lie. Like the Knicks telecast on TNT brought up almost 3 million viewers. That's not even counting the fact that MSG Network has its own viewers, I think the one that beat them was the Lakers against the Sun, but that was because it was on ABC. ABC is local, so cable news has a difference. But they cannot deny that the league needs the money. The league needs the Knicks in the playoff every year, not just this year.
That's a fact. And to your point, Freezy, also, I listened to remember when they first started sprinkling little tidbits of talking about the Knicks on the national media, what that looked like. So they didn't give us our full-blown flowers at that point. So they would just mention because they had to, because we happened to win a game, or we happened to go on a 9-game winning streak. They were forced to do that. But now they're actually having to give commentary on the New York Knicks. Somebody, someplace, is up late at night watching this podcast, taking notes so they can pass it off to somebody in the morning, and then they can go ahead and report like they was up watching the game and they know something about the New York Knicks.
Can I piggyback on what you just said, G-Man? You hit it on the nail, because sometimes I used to watch ESPN and then come back to the stream. Now I'm so into, like, first I gather what the panel has to say, what the chat has to say, and then I watch ESPN or the mainstream media. And what I see now is that sometimes you will say something, sometimes I will say something, and I'm like, did Stephen A. Smith just quoted me? Like, I'm not trying to brag. It was like, so you start seeing that, like, they start thinking like us. They start, like you say, infiltrating our space, and they know what we're talking about on Twitter. They know our sentiments. So that's something to look at.
Right. I agree with you. I agree with you there. But I will tell you this. Julius Randle being the most improved player is not a byproduct of Julius Randle taking more shots, grabbing more rebounds. It's a byproduct of Julius Randle being the most improved man first, understanding what his flaws was, understanding what his expectation was, because his expectations for himself was to get these accolades last season, but he went about it the wrong way. When adversity struck, he didn't handle it properly. Right. Like just telling RJ Barrett to, get out of my way, Rook. Just because you were drafted doesn't mean blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like there was a play last season towards the end of the game where the shot clock was running out. Right? The shot clock was running out. And Julius Randle tried to pass RJ Barrett the ball while time expired on the shot clock so he wouldn't get a turnover. And RJ Barrett wouldn't touch it. He's like, bro, I know what you're doing. You're trying to give me your turnover. Right? You're trying to give me your turnover.
Yeah.
Right. And so Randle did stuff like that last year. And then in the course of towards the end of the season, he had an epiphany. He was like, this whole, our existence is not a linear existence. We don't all live in a vacuum. We all don't walk in a straight line. You know what I'm saying? We all exist around others. So the more you embrace others and try to build others up, and yourself, then you'll be better. That's what I got from that thing that he wrote that went in the Players Tribune. Remember the Players Tribune article he wrote earlier in the season? That's what I got from that he had to make himself better as, a better man, a better person, and then all the other stuff around him got better. So when I see most improved, I think it starts with the internal reconstruction of Julius Randle, and then spreading that outwards to others, helping others. And that's what this Knicks franchise needed. I think over the years, we had a lot of selfish cats come through the door. All they wanted was money. I got the biggest contract, I'm the man. As opposed to, saying, hey, let me embrace this franchise, take all the goods and the bads, the highs and the lows, accept all these things, right? And then we build this thing up the right way, but we do it all together.
True.
Freezy, it's funny that you say that, and that's a really good take on that award, because the first thing I thought about when I saw that he won the award was I reflected first, to your point, on where was his headspace at last year. What was it that made Julius Randle a problem and not the person that's producing for the team, and how we intended for him to do it. And I often wonder, right? I wonder if what happened, the tragic death of Kobe Bean Bryant, if that has something to do.
Rest in peace to the GOAT.
If that has something to do with Randle's change of heart, so to speak. So sometimes when things like that happen, when events like that unfold, people start to reflect on their own lives and kind of what they go through and how they handle day to day, right? So you may have, some people may have had a beef with somebody that you've been beefing for like years and years and years, and then you wake up one day and say, "Hey, listen, you know what? I don't even remember why we beefing. So why am I not talking to this dude, right? And this is somebody I grew up with for years and years and years. Now all of a sudden we're not talking. That's idiotic. Let me call him. Let me reach out and see what's going on." You know what I'm saying? So I think with Randle coming in, and it tells me two things. One, that saying about when you're a child, you put away your childish things when you're ready to mature and become a man. I think that was part of his maturation process. Number one. Number two, I don't think correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that he's been in a position where he was the man on the team, the man.
Oh man, you just took what I was just about to say. So don't give them too much, man. Don't give them too much.
Hey, Yas, can you do the super chat?
Oh, definitely. Sorry about that. I'll do the super chat right now. And we just had a super chat by your man Donald Cannon in the building. Uncle Freezy, I'm gonna need a 4856 on Hoodie Kev for being late. Hoodie Kev got a rain delay, so Hoodie Kev is not here today, but he'll come through maybe hopefully. But he's probably busy. He didn't get no work yesterday, so you can't blame the man.
So for those of you that don't know what a 4856 is, if you're in the military, if you have been in the military, 4856 is known as a counseling statement. So that is an evaluation report, whether you're doing good or bad. But we use those as a record for when you are messing up, and when you're messing up. And
if you work in restaurant like I did, we have the number 86, meaning like, oh, chicken wings 86, meaning he's not here. So 86. Nah, but G-Man, when you was talking about he's the man now, I was gonna go back to just the career he's been through. So you get drafted by the Lakers, but then you become part of a package, and you get injured on day one of your rookie season. So that's very shocking for a guy. Then you go to New Orleans, and instead of New Orleans seeing the potential that you have, they go and draft a guy that, like, who was it, Enes Kanter, that called them a bigger or faster, and he called them a Julius Randle that could jump. That's what he called Zion. Remember? Yeah. When Zion wasn't in. So you saw him. You saw that, like, AD decided, I'm gonna go to the Lakers. Like, I don't believe in Julius, even though they could have had a good squad. So when he comes to New York City, and he's like the octopus of the whole organization right now. He has the connection with Kentucky, so it's documented. He was the one that was a little stressed about last year, and he sat down with KP. He sat down with Leon Rose. He sat down. I don't know if Thibodeau was there by then. But he sat down with all of those guys that he built the foundation. That's why, he deserved this and more, because the league is realizing, man, we've been overlooking this guy. And also, who gets a lot of credit too is who drafted him too, Rob Pelinka. Because not that only Julius get MIP, Jordan Clarkson just got the 6-man award, and wasn't he from the same? They were in the same team before, right?
Yes.
So that also shows a lot about, like, Rob Pelinka, an agent turned into a president. How within a year, It's a blink of an eye type of change.
Okay. I feel
So,
you.
so for Mr. Randle, I think that what this and a couple things I think I'm looking for as we move forward through the playoffs and figure out what the next steps are going to be postseason, right? There's a lot of talk in the media about the Knicks picking up Julius Randle's extension and signing him to this extension and all what does he want to do? Is he going to sign it or no? Is he going to wait? Is he going to bet on himself and get the bag? I honestly believe this. Based on where Julius Randle's headspace is right now, I think he's going to take the team-friendly deal. I think he's going to do that in order to continue to build this roster into a championship roster. Based on his activities this year, I have no reason not to believe that. He's shown us that from day one. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. But I truly believe in my heart of hearts that Julius Randle will take a team-friendly deal so that the Knicks can continue to build this roster in such a way that we're competing for championships in the very near future.
Yeah, and I don't want to give a bad take, but I feel like Julius is entering that like Derek Jeter status or what was another like Eli Manning status in our team that like depending on him like the change 41 games from last year, how many we had 22 to 19 games. I don't know how much we won, but Julius is just tremendous. Congratulations, and the family is essential. He's not a guy that you're gonna see at 3 a.m. coming out of Copacabana or La Boom or Elephant. There's so many good clubs in New York. There's so many distractions in our city. So whenever I see him dedicating time to his son, and when Uncle Freezy talked about how Kobe and growing up with Kobe, and at the same time, Kobe literally lost his life and he lost his daughter. So when I see Julius, it's beautiful to see an NBA player showing that softer side. Mostly with Julius, because I think Julius has a dark-skinned man. He gives you an assumption that he's actually not. He's actually he's tender. He's actually a good guy. So, man, well deserved. I don't think that we knew that he was gonna win no matter what. So, but well deserved for Julius.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
One more thing.
Oh, go ahead, G-Man.
No, I was going to say real quick. I was going to say that one thing that I think is important for us as Knicks fans to understand and recognize, right? This award that Julius Randle got or received today is a monumental achievement, right, for Julius Randle. But New York Knicks fans didn't need this award. They didn't need the outside world to tell us that Julius Randle was the most improved player in the NBA. That's for the outside. That's for outside folks. The family, the people that rock with Julius for real, we already knew what time it was.
Yeah. I mean,
exactly. So I think the award was more like an icing on a cake, but like most fans in New York feel like it's peripheral. It's not. It's meaningful, but it's not the main goal. The main goal is to make a deep playoff run this year.
That's facts.
Yeah. It's more of a symbol than anything.
Yeah, we wasn't in that mindset at the beginning of the season, not as Knicks fans, because there were a lot of people saying fade for Cade and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
No handle Randle. No handle Randle was a thing of like the past.
There were some people on Knicks Twitter that were like, trade Julius Randle. And I am one that said, hey man, listen, 20 and 10, you can't find 20 and 10 just anywhere. You can't just trade Julius Randle. And I got
I'm a witness of that, Uncle Freeze, because I didn't actually watch your show, but I used to go to other shows and they used to talk about how bad of how you guys used to support Julius. And it was just like back then it was like ludicrous, like somebody's really rooting for Julius. But I mean, some people look at players as if like, what can he give me from 2 years from now, 1 year from now? But the desperation of the typical Knicks fan or the typical New Yorker is like, what can you do for me ahora, like right now? So results is hard to bring out.
Right, no doubt. I didn't want to trade Randle. I wanted to build around Randle. I still do. Um, I didn't want to trade him at the time. I also predicted the team would go 42-30. I was wrong.
Wow.
So I was wrong on a lot of stuff. I predicted this team to make be a first round exit. I'm hoping. Yeah, I said that back then, but now that I watched the season play out, I'm hoping I was wrong on that also. But I will tell you this: I had ultimate faith in Tibbs, and R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. You know, I do. Who could have predicted us trading for Derrick Rose? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the very beginning of the season. My frustration was that that we didn't go out and get a point guard. But now that I saw this thing play out, I do have faith in the organization. So hey y'all, I'm gonna do something. I gotta jump off the screen right quick. I gotta do something with this phone.
All right.
I'm gonna plug it up real quick. But I'm coming right back.
We held it down. All right, so G-Man, since we're talking about awards, right now we're currently what, 1-2? Because we didn't get the what was the other award that we were waiting for? I know Coach of the Year is the one that they still haven't announced, right? MVP we lost. You know, we were rooting for mostly for MVP, but MIP that's well deserved. So we got the MIP, 1 for 2. Coach of the Year. You know, let's talk about Coach of the Year. Do you think that we're gonna go another one back to back, or?
So in my heart tells me I want Tibbs to win Coach of the Year, but I've been watching the NBA long enough to know that there are politics that's associated with that award, right? The Coach of the Year normally goes to a team with a winning record. So I think that the Suns, Monty Williams, will probably end up being the Coach of the Year simply because they have the second best record. Regular season record in the NBA, so they will use that to kind of waive that of what we got. But again,
by the way, they just lost to the Lakers, but
yeah,
so it's tied 1-1.
Yep. So I think I would love to see Coach Tibbs get the award because I think he's deserving of it based on what he's done for our organization. He has taken us to the point where we are right now. With the least amount of money, the least expensive team in the NBA. Most would say we have our challenges as far as talent goes. So if you watch Tibbs coach, he never sits down. Tibbs literally walks the sideline the entire game. So Monty Williams has a play-in coach on his team right now in the name of Chris Paul. So he'll give Chris Paul he give the team the instructions. Chris Paul is on the floor, reinforcing
the floor general in a sense.
Exactly. So it's like having an assistant coach out there on the floor. I'm not saying that to disparage or discard the things that Monty Williams has accomplished. So if Tibbs does not win the award, I'm happy it's going to Monty Williams because I think that he's deserving in his own right. But I would love to see Tibbs get it. But I think, you know, realistically speaking, that Monty will be the guy that wins the Coach of the Year.
I mean, I want to answer a question by Kenny and Pepper. Kenny and Pepper just said Coach of the Year was announced. No, they said what they're doing this year is and I actually love the way the NBA is presenting the awards this year. You know, first they letting us know who are the top 3.
Right.
No, so for MVP, Julius was not even in the conversation because it was I believe it was Nikola Jokic, Embiid, and which one?
Jokic, Embiid, and Steph, I think.
Steph, yeah, and they still haven't announced MVP yet, right? So, but we knew by then it's not Julius because he's not in the conversation. Like he didn't get enough votes. That's why we knew. But Coach of the Year, you still have Monty Williams, which he looks like he's leading. Tibbs, and who was the other guy from the Utah Jazz, right?
Yeah, the Jazz coach. Which
so
I don't say he should be in it, but I think Tibbs and Monty are the front runners here.
Yeah, so we still don't know. So it's still on the table. So let's pray for Tibbs to get that. You know, again, like G-Man just said. that is just an award to put right next to an award. You know, when Julius gets that ring and gets that championship, that he puts it right next to it. You know, it's for himself. It's as meaningful as getting the keys for the city. You know, yeah, you get it and everything is cute. You put it in some place in your house, but you know what he really wants. He wants a championship ring. So, and we're building towards that. So that's what it shows you. You know, we have a good structure on the coach department. We have a good structure on the players, and we have another good structure on the executive. That's something that we cannot look away from. You know, so it's great. Thank you for the NBA. I don't know. Thank you for the NBA for giving us that award because it gives us a little boost right now. We needed that, you know, to like have some good news about the Knicks. G-Man, do you want to talk? Do you want to touch the topic of Bill de Blasio now flipping towards the Knicks, or do you want to not touch that at all?
No. So you know what, Gas? This is kind of how I think about things like that, right? All this is
propaganda.
Opportunists. So people really do is they wait until someone is riding high, and then they try to figure out in their own specific way how they can capitalize on somebody else's efforts. So
you remember what the priest named Mike Jones said one time. Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Now he put in a Knicks hat. Like, come on, man, you're a fraud. You're a fraud.
So those type people right there, I don't give them the time of day. I don't even, just mention it, and I would do something like I wouldn't even mention his name. I would say that guy that's out here right now wearing a Knicks paraphernalia, acting like that he really supports our team. I'm not giving him any shine. I'm not gonna give him any shine. And if you really want to know who we're talking about, if Gas didn't tell you his name, then you go out there and Google him. I'm not wasting my time with that. That's an outside distraction that I have. What I'm concerned about right now is the game we're about to play tomorrow.
Game two. That's it. Game 2. All right. So G-Man said we're not giving him any energy in this show. So you want to talk about the draft pick coin flip that we ended up with the 19 and the 22nd or the 23rd? Which one is it, G-Man?
I thought it was the 21st.
The 20. Oh, so it's better. It's the 19 and the 21st. So the Knicks got a coin flip, and I believe it's a Clipper trade pick.
They won the tiebreaker against the Hawks, and I think we had a tiebreaker against Dallas won that tiebreaker, which is how we got the place that we got right now. I think that's how it went. I didn't really pay too much attention to it because I don't really do draft things until postseason.
Well, it's weird. It's weird, G-Man, because in another universe, in another dimension, we would have been talking about this. You know, we would have been ignoring the playoff and saying, you know what, how are we going to get ready for next year? Da 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 da. But for the first time, I was just like, it's backhanded like news. It's not like top of the line, like, because I also don't want to be like, some people are like, already thinking like, we got the picks and we trade down. Like, nah, I want to see the results of the end of whatever we're working on right now, which is game 2. And even when we play at State Farm's Arena, that Uncle Freezy is gonna be there. What's his name? CP the artist is gonna be there. Kev bought the box. He lets every stream he's letting us know I bought the box. So there's gonna be a lot of Knicks fans in town because of a lot of transplants that move to the South. When people get a little bit of money, if they cannot afford New Jersey, they go to Atlanta or they go to Florida. So I'm very confident about the next game due to the fact that Atlanta are not a better team than us, and
so what I would say to that I guess is this, right? If you look on paper, check it on paper, and you look at the lineup that Atlanta has, their roster compared to our roster, some people would say that Atlanta is a more talented team than the Knicks have. And if you start running down stats and just looking at players individually, you can make an argument for that. I think that as Knicks fans, sometimes it's just like being a Giants fan, right? Sometimes I let my heart rule my head, and I know what my head is. I know when I'm playing against a superior team or a team that is better on paper, at least, or has had a history of beating us or whatever the case may be. I still believe in my heart of hearts we're gonna win every game. That's just how I'm built that way, right?
As you should. Like, you know, even when I was saying before the last game, like I didn't even feel good saying that, because it's like I blame myself sometimes, because I'm like, dude, you just put it out into a system. Like, there's the power of the tongue. So, you know, those people that are always thinking negative, is like, oh, you might brought that energy into the situation. That's why negative things happen. So we should always think like that. We should always think about winning and not thinking about like draft and things like that. But game two is gonna be tomorrow. I got here 4:30. For you guys, it's 7:30.
Hey, G-Man, hey, hold on. I didn't hear G-Man finish his point about the Giants.
Oh yeah, okay.
So what I was saying is, if you looked at, and I always go back to this analogy, right? Remember when the Giants were playing against, in the Super Bowl, we were playing against then the 15-0 New England Patriots in Phoenix, Arizona. Nobody gave us a chance. Everybody was having the signs up in the thing. They were comparing the New England Patriots against the undefeated 73 Dolphins team. I mean, we got no shine at all, none. So in that game, I said two things to myself, because I had seen us play Brady enough to know where the weakness was, and I knew where we were stronger than that particular team was, and that's our defensive edge rushers. If we could get to Brady and put Brady's butt on the ground, we had a chance to win that game. And we did. And as long as it was a low-scoring game, a defensive game, we could win the game. I say all that to say this. This is where the comparison comes in, right? If you look at, on paper, right? On paper, when you get the stat sheet and you start running down players and you put them side by side, lineups and this or that, you could make a legit case that the Atlanta Hawks are a better basketball team than the New York Knicks. But I'm going to tell you where you come up short at. Something that you can't measure on paper, something that you can't measure any other way other than using the eye test.
What is that?
The heart of this basketball team is what's going to get us over. I don't care how we could be behind by 30 points. We never stop playing effort basketball. We always give effort, and effort, my friend, will get you over every time. When you are feeling in a dark and dingy place in your life, or something bad just happened, you got to dig deep, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to kind of roll over and go on with the status quo, but you got to hush them naysayers up. All those people that doubt you, all those people that said you never going to amount to nothing because you didn't do what they want you to do, whatever the case may be, we don't worry about none of that. All that's white noise. Get that up out of here. We don't care about that. And that is the difference between the Atlanta Hawks and that's why the Knicks are going to win this series. That's exactly what.
There's a lot. Every time I think about that 09 Giants team, every time I think about so many similarities. I believe I even said that before about how like KP is Tiki Barber, you know, the guy that didn't believe in us and dipped on us. Remember I said that? And like, you know, so it's and that's one of the only championships I lived throughout my lifetime too, you know, because you could brag about the Yankees in the 70s, 80s, but I was not even an assistant. So it's like you brag, but you like, I don't know about that. So the Giants, you know, twice.
Man, I thought you were going to say that 1990 Giants team. That's the one because the Buffalo Bills had their offense was so powerful.
They were
big gun with Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed.
Yep, I remember.
That's the Giants team I thought you were going to talk about.
You know, I thought about that for you, but I think that most people that listen to the show, they would have to go and Google that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like according to the demographics and to the analytics, you know, the average viewer wasn't born.
but to your point, Freezy, you know where I was at when that Super Bowl went on? Guess where I was at? I was in I was actually deployed in Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I was sitting in Dubai at the time. I happened to get R&R. They let us come back from the front line, so we went to Dubai. So I'm sitting in this resort, right? It was like, oh my God! Listen, anybody that has never had the opportunity to visit Dubai, you need to go. That's all.
By the way, but also let them know that you're talking about Dubai pre-buildings, like whatever Dubai is now. It was not the same then. 1990. It was like a desert. Like it's not the artificial Dubai. I'm talking about. It was just heat.
But it was on the way. It was on the way.
It was. Oh, my bad.
Yes. So they had resorts out there. Plush resorts that you pull up with your $1 million yachts. You got water parks all over the place. It was a beautiful place. But that's why I watched the Super Bowl at Freezy. I was at this resort in Dubai, and I'm sitting here watching the game. And my wife, mind you, is in Buffalo, New York. My son is a Buffalo Bills fan. So my daughter and I are the only New York Giants fans in the house right now. My oldest son is a Panther. So look, I'm telling you right now, that game, I'm just saying, man, I had to eat Pop-Tarts for about a week.
Yo, G-Man. Actually, now that since both of you guys are military, man, a funny story that's just the same. 2 years ago, I was in Costa Rica visiting my pops, and I was staying at a resort, actually, like the Hilton in Costa Rica, and it was during that time there was the FIFA World Cup qualifying, So just to let you know, like there was this like big old Panamanian military man that came in, and I remember they came in. I saw them like whatever, they're Panamanians, whatever. And then later on, when I went downstairs, they were watching the game. Right? Panama never made it to the World Cup. 2 years ago, it was the first time ever. But it was just fascinating because just 2 hours ago, G-Man, I saw big old man coming in, strong, walking with no, that military face of like no nonsense face.
Yep.
But when their country, or in your case, when the Giants were winning, grown men crying, G-Man, men crying in their 40s, talking about I never thought this was gonna happen, and it was just like, oh man, this is real. That's when I knew, like, wow, a sport could change your whole life. Because during that moment, they forgot they were in the military. They forgot everything. It was just like little kids watching like their heroes.
That's a fact.
So. No, yeah, like sports is something that at this moment is so meaningful, and another reason why the 2009 Giants were so great. We were going through a recession. The economy was really down. So to see the city celebrating during the festival they have after they win the championship, what's the name of that thing? The Canyon of Heroes. That's what they call it in New York.
Oh, the parade. You talking about the parade?
The parade. Yeah, man. I went to both of them, man. That was the most. Oh, that was so awesome. That was so awesome.
So I'll tell you how we tie this back into what we're talking about, right? So you look at the season that we have right now and what's going on. We went into game one. For whatever reason, the outcome was not what everybody was wishing for. But I think in retrospect, we have to find the positives in anything. Because if you go in looking at the negatives for anything, you're never going to grow, right? So the positive for me is this. The nervous energy is gone, right? So everyone had a chance to experience those 15,000 screaming fans that's in the Garden. Everyone had a chance to go through the whole thing of those that had never been in a playoff game before, that the lights are brighter, the fans are a little bit louder, the officiating is a little bit different. The competition level has been ratcheted up just a bit because everyone's playing for a championship, right? All that's over. It's done and over with right now. So game two is back to playing basketball, period.
Yeah.
That's what we're about to do. We're about to go play basketball. And the regular season, you can use that to a certain extent to say, we played you before. So I have an idea of what your tendencies are. They may be amped up like you just drank like 5 or 6 Red Bulls in a row. Or your tendencies. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get away from your tendencies overnight. So yeah, I have a good feeling that we get this win tonight. I mean, I'm sorry, tomorrow. Well, hell, yeah, tonight.
Tonight already, yeah. Tonight
And then we move on. I think we split in Atlanta, and then we come back home and close it out in the Garden in New York fashion.
So you're saying Sunday we got the L. Wednesday we're winning. Friday, game 3 in Atlanta, we're winning that one. Sunday we're winning, and then coming back home, we're closing it at home. So game 5, then you're predicting game 5.
I'm gonna stick with my 5-game prediction, right?
Gotcha.
So we win tomorrow night, and then we split in Atlanta. So I don't know if we win Friday or we win Sunday. We're gonna get one of those. We may get both of them, but I'm predicting we get at least one. So we come back home 2-2, and then we win the next couple of games we got here in New York.
No, I mean, that's the thing. Like that, we're gonna have some type of home court advantage over there coming. You know, I know I said that before. So I have a feeling that we're gonna steal one from them. I don't think they're gonna go on and like. But tomorrow is a must win because game 2 and game 3 are always those meaningful games. Like Atlanta, yeah, you stole one from us at the last minute. At the last second, not the last minute. The last 32 seconds of the game when Frank came in, that's when they took the lead. So we played 47 minutes of good basketball. You could say that, maybe, right? We just didn't go over the top. We just didn't go for, now we cannot allow them to have we cannot allow the Knicks to have a 5-point lead and just stay like that. Like, no, we need to double it up. Also, Julius never comes back and have a 2 back-to-back bad game. He always rebound. And mind you, that was a really bad game for Julius Randle. It was a 15, 16-point game. So
off his average.
Triple-double is coming, bro. It's coming, G-Man. A triple-double is coming tomorrow from Julius Randle. Can I talk about something that Nice brought up yesterday? Yesterday, after this show, we went to Smoking Knicks show.
Gas. You gotta let us get some. You gotta let us get some talk in, bro. You
my
your thing,
bad.
and then you change the subject.
I don't mean to be a dictator, my bad.
Nah, man. It's
no,
like
go ahead.
Slow down a little bit so we can stay with you.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna start.
Go ahead.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there now. So I hear you, G-Man. I hear you. Closing out in 6. My question to you is, do you think this team is built to handle 4 really tough games in a row, like not dominate but impose their will on another team 4 games in a row, a team that is just as good as we are?
Sadly, I would have to say no. My hope here is that at some point we are able to get into the heads of a said Hawks team. That is my hope. If we can, we need to break their spirit. If we can break their spirit, then they have nothing left, to play for at that point. But I think if as long as they're going into a game thinking that they have something to fight for and they have nothing to lose, then that's going to be a problem for us.
That's well said. I myself. What?
Oh, geez. Well, hold on.
I'm backstage.
G-Man 86 G-Man.
There we go. I'm back.
Hey, we are back.
No, you weren't backstage. The thing put gas on solo.
It put me on stage.
Oh, solo screen. Okay.
I'm hacking the system.
Yeah.
So did y'all hear my take, or do I need to say that?
Oh no, we heard what you said about.
No, we heard it.
Okay, all right. But Freezy, that's a very interesting question because, I look at this game that we have tomorrow as a springboard to things to come. And anytime that you're in a competitive sport or a competitive event, once you get that mindset together, it's the game is as much mental as it is physical, right? So if I can get in your head and take you out of your game and force you away from the things that make you a strong player or a strong participant, I'm winning the battle at that point, right? Because you're not doing what makes you great. You're not doing what helps your team the most. So that's the kind of the headspace I need for us to get in. To my man, shout out to my man Soulfinger, because he always says that the New York Knicks are occupying real estate in these guys' heads for free. We don't have to pay rent. We just occupying space there because they're thinking about it every time, every moment of the day until we get to play ball. So I think that we're going to be okay. We just got to get back to playing New York Knicks basketball. Forget again, sometimes you get caught up in all the glitz and glamour and everything that's going on around you, and you forget what got you here. You can't get away from what got you here. You got to take what got you here and build upon it. That's the foundation. Take the foundation. If you want to knock out a wall and expand your room, then you can do that. If you want to knock out a wall and build you a sun porch, you can do that. But you got to stick with the foundation, the thing that got you to where you are right now.
Yeah. I mean, after game 2, we saw Julius' response to the whole game, which was put that on me. So we saw accountability from the get-go from Julius. Like, he knows, hey man, I cannot perform like this because my team depends on me. Another one that I saw was a good clapback by Reggie Bullocks. Reggie Bullocks, there was a post by Trae Young going to Olive Garden, and basically Reggie Bullock put like a handwriting, basically like, oh, I take notes, like basically Reggie Bullock letting him know, like, okay, we'll see next game, because Reggie Bullock he had a very bad game. I believe he was minus 16 or minus 18 on the last game. So if we had at least 10 or more than 20 points for him, or at least 15 points for him, we would have won that game. So I don't think they're going to come back with low spirit. I think it's the opposite. With so much people now supporting the Knicks, with the town and Julius getting the award, there's no way these guys are not going to come in. And on the first quarter, I think they're just going to come in and punch them in their nose. First quarter, big lead. Like, not even leading from behind. Like, I don't even think this game is going to be a blowout. That's what I mean.
To your point, Nick Gass, as I am happy, I'm ecstatic that people are finally giving the New York Knicks their just due for being the heart of the city, right? I love it. My concern is that you have some people that are more mature than others in any type organization, team, corporation, whatever the case may be. I need for these guys to stay focused on the task at hand, which is destroying the Atlanta Hawks, period. So what happens is, when you get all these outside voices in your ear, they start chirping, and then they take your mind off the game. They make you think that you're better than what you really are. They make you think that you can go out and do things that your body's not able to do. They make you think that you can go out there and you are 6'6", and you're going up against a 6'10" dude in the paint, and they make you think that, hey, I'm gonna take this shot because I can make it. No, dude, you can't, because this is a premier defender in the NBA. What are you doing?
And top of the line. You're not just playing Sacramento. You're not just playing, like, you're playing the top of the line. Like, there's not more than 8 teams make it to the playoff for a reason.
Exactly. This is the playoffs, so everybody's energy is high. I just do not want. And I'm emphatic about this. I do not want, and the Knicks have not shown me that they are vulnerable to this, because I've seen articles about other teams that people out here getting distracted by whatever they're getting distracted by. I'm not even going to give that any credence. That's not my business. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if what's being reported is real. Somebody may be trying to get their the subscription rate up or whatever the case be. I don't care about nothing about that. My concern
cloud chasing is what we call it. Cloud chasing.
There you go. My concern right now. Well, hold on. So, Nick Gas, you're gonna make me get in my position right now. I've been out of position all night. I'm gonna have to get in my position.
Listen, get him, G-Man.
Right here, right. So what we got to understand is what is our tax, and we got to take these in target acquisition packages, right? I'm going back to the military terminology right now. So right now, our 25-meter target, which is the closest target, it's big, it's bold, you can't miss it. If you close your eyes and throw a rock at it, you still hit it, right? That's the 25-meter target. That's the game we got tonight against the Atlanta Hawks, right? We go in there, we do what we need to do, we go ahead and get this victory, and then we worry about what we're doing when we go to Atlanta. But first and foremost, and I take things in increments. I work in increments. So I can give you 180% of my time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears for that 25-meter target because that's what we're focusing on. I don't care about what's happening at the end of the season. I don't care about draft picks. I don't care about who's a potential trade. I don't
just
care about
those 48 minutes. Just those 48 minutes.
Those 48 minutes is what I'm locked in on right now, just like the New York Knicks. Tom Thibodeau got these boys locked in. Trust me when I tell you that. We won't see what we saw last night. It's not happening. I'm sorry. It's not happening. I'm sorry, Freezy. I went a little long. My bad.
No, you
nah,
did
man,
yeah, right.
Yeah. Bro, you had me, man. I was about ready to throw something in the collection plate.
So G-Man, have you heard about the Luca updates? Luca Vildoza?
I have not. The last I heard was he was there. He's on the team. He's got a number, but I haven't heard anything as far as if he's practicing or whatever.
Also, he's officially in the roster. The last 2 days they put him in the roster.
He's on the roster.
He's on the roster.
I don't know if he's available though. I don't know if he's available or not.
But technically, he's not in do not play. Like he's not an injury report. That's what I'm trying to say. He's not an injury report.
He's not a DMP.
So,
no.
Ryan, and like that, I call this Nice had a dream because Nice. We were talking about this with Nice. Like, there's a slim chance because he's in quarantine right now. He got here 4 days ago, right? For the NBA, you have to do 10 days officially of quarantine if you're traveling from another place or if you have COVID yourself. So he has to go 10 days. We can have him. Best case scenario, this guy might be available game 5, game 6. Best case scenario.
Right. So
because again, sorry, I didn't mean to stop you.
Go ahead.
I was looking at the move. This move is rare. Never in the NBA history has a team acquire a guy right before the playoff. That never happens. That did not happen with Campasso. That did not happen with Mike James with the Nets. That is just rare that a guy randomly, So if you do all that, it's not for next year. They probably don't want to say it, but man, if Luca Vildoza gets to play with the Knicks this season, Eastern Conference Finals is not the biggest aspiration of mine, because this kid, man, you saw Campasso with the Nuggets yesterday.
Yep.
This Argentinian and this European players are great, man. Like he's not gonna, I'm trying to say like he's not the type of guy that you're gonna have to teach him 5 years and down the line. Like he's gonna come in and he how much Mitch Robinson would benefit with this guy because he loves assisting like dunks and things like that. Also, Obi Toppins. We got two World Trade Centers that could be able to give us more production, but due to the fact that we have a very bad starting guard, I don't even want to say his name because when you say his name, you end up going on 45-minute rants. We're not going to talk about the episode. Right. We're just going to call him episode. We don't even want to say EP episode. Yeah. So, but Luca Vildoza might be a chance, man, and Mitch, because tomorrow I think Norvis Pell might have to come out of the bench, not for the whole game, not for a whole quarter, but at least 15 minutes of hard work, of physical play. What do you think about that? Using Norvis Pell as a center tomorrow?
Okay. So you said a lot that I need to unpack. So when I had to put my pen out,
my bad. Go ahead.
you good. Okay, so let's start with Luca, the Luca conversation, right? So
Yes,
I'm saying in the chat that people think that we're hyping Luca. So let me set the record straight. Number one, Luca.
What's the problem with that?
Luca, look, here we go. Luca was an acquisition way before we went into the playoffs. It just turned out that throughout the things that we had to do to acquire Luca, it took enough time for us to actually be in the playoffs before he got here. So it's not like the New York Knicks went out to get Luca Vildoza in here and say that he's going to be the savior for the playoffs. Now, I don't see Luca playing this season. So originally, I was on record as saying, if Luca had come to the Knicks when he was originally scheduled, when all this first started, then he would get some shine in the playoffs. I'm on record as saying that. You go back and check the tape on a couple of different shows. So don't get it twisted, because I know somebody's gonna say, well, that's not what you said. Well, I'm telling you what I said. What I said was, at the time when Luca was supposed to be here, I expected him to get some playing time, to have him primed and ready if Tibbs wanted to use him during the playoffs. Because we all know Tibbs is not a person that willy-nilly just changes his lineup. That's not what he does, right? So Luca, I think that if Tibbs sees an opportunity where he can benefit the team, he may get some playing time. I personally think right now, when he came in and where he's at right now, I don't see him playing this year because that you can't just drop somebody in your rotation and expect for the chemistry to be the same, right? So that's going to disrupt chemistry. And he's not going to start. Don't get it twisted. So you're talking about disrupting the bench chemistry. We're not going to do that. The bench is not broke, so don't try to fix it. So Tibbs is not going to do that at all. Barring and knock on wood.
The timing is weird, man. You gotta think about the timing.
So the timing is about all the hoops that Luca had to go through.
And everybody's right. Maybe we don't want to get overhyped for Lucas. Yes, sir, I agree. But am I overhyped on the starting guard that we have right now? And do I think this guy's gonna come with more anger, more hungriness? Yes, I think he will give me more production than 0 points from our starting point guard.
So Gas, this is what I would tell you, right? My grandmother always told me this: a bird in the hand is better than a bird in the bush, right? So I have never seen Luca on an NBA court. I have never seen Luca play 1 minute of NBA basketball. I know what his tape says. I know what the scouting report says, but I've never seen him on an NBA court. What I have seen on the NBA court is Emmanuel Quickly. What I have seen on the NBA court is Frank Ntilikina. So if there's going to be a change at the starting point guard position, I would go with who is already a proven entity on our team, and then we adjust from there. I was on record, and we talked about this last night, I think, before things went south real quick. But I am an advocate of starting IQ at the starting point guard position and having Frank Ntilikina fill IQ's position on the bench to start with. But IQ is not going to play starting point guard. IQ is going to play Alfred Payton minutes. Those are the minutes he's going to play. So if you still need him to come in and produce with that second squad, he's still able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because you have a point. You have a great point on the fact that he hasn't played 1 second of NBA, and we cannot rely on just videos that we watch for YouTube. But another thing another rebuttal I could give you is the fact that Argentina was silver. They won silver. I believe United States got eliminated from the FIBA World Cup because Frank's French team eliminated John Wall. Not John Wall. Was it John Wall? No, it was Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker in the USA FIBA team. So he does compete with. He has experience competing with NBA players. Also, Campasso is very short. Campasso is not the number one player in that Argentinian team. And right. Another thing is, like, if you want to talk about heart, let's talk about Manu Ginobili, an Argentinian player that physically didn't look like your average NBA player, but Ginobili, even Ginobili sponsored this kid. Ginobili was the reason why this kid got signed by Spain. So the kid is good. Can't deny it, and mostly because I've been, due to the fact that I speak Spanish, I've been following ESPN Deportes a lot. So for the European League, like he was the MVP of the European League.
Right.
You know, they go hard in the paint. They're a little bit more physical than us, tell you the truth. So that's what I'm relying on. The fact that like I'm following like Spanish or Latino Twitter, and it's like, oh whoa, like they're giving us more information over there than over here. You know, like than on our ESPN. So that's what I'm attributing from him. So, but you're right. It could just be next year move, but I just don't want to wait for next year.
As fans, we get excited, right? I mean, rightfully so. We get excited. This is the, if you ever go to a car dealership and you know you buy yourself a new car and you know it's something that you've always wanted and you get it and you know you just every once in a while you want to bag it out of the garage. You want to get that soft terry cloth towel and just wipe it down real easy, right? Yeah. And then you're gonna drive it up the block, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're gonna drive real slow, right? So all everybody can see you. 2 miles an hour, so everybody sees you. You know what I'm saying? Like Will Smith said, that's what we're doing right now. Stunning on them. Exactly. So and then what you do when you get back to your driveway before you put it in the garage, you wipe it down again. You pull it in the garage. You put the car cover over it, and you lower the door, and you feel good about yourself, right? Yeah. That is the exact same thing with Luca, right? I'm not saying I never wish any ill will on any player that wears a New York Knicks jersey. Never. I expect the best that they have to give. Now here we go. Anita Baker, giving you the best that I got. That's what I expect from them every night when they're on the floor, right? But what I will say is, in I guess in relations to Luca is this. I don't know how or what Tibbs' plan is for this young man. I don't think that he's going to come in and be the savior. I think he can come in and be a piece that can that spark. You know, every once in a while you need that. And
spark. That's what we need. We just need a piece. Our savior is Julius.
Yes. Yeah.
Our savior is Julius. So we're not coming here and we're not changing the CEO. But we bring in an analyst. We're bringing in somebody that has, whenever you go to court and they got the forensics science investigator type of guy, a guy that's gonna let the court and talk about the court about a certain thing. So, like, he is a good guard. So I don't need him to come in and take over and be better than quickly. Better, no. I just want to take off the starting point guard EP, and I want to put him there. But not as a starter, but like mostly like, let's say we could start with Frank. And I believe yesterday I was talking about how like we could start with Frank next game. In the first quarter, Frank could give me some good 8 minutes.
Hold on. Are you talking about Frank starting at point guard? I just want to make sure.
Yes, tomorrow. Yeah, so I'll start Frank at point guard just for the physicality at first. 8 minutes, see what Frank does, If Frank gives me 6 minutes, all right, give me 6 minutes. I'll take him out after 8 minutes. 8 minutes in, depending on how the game goes, we bring in quickly. So quickly is going to be the end of the second quarter. So while we playing for the second quarter, at least we have a better lead, because Frank is going to keep us afloat. Frank, I don't expect a lot from Frank. I just expect him to keep us afloat. Then quickly gives us the lead like the bench always does. So I want to have a great lead by the halftime. Then coming third quarter, I want to put Frank again, the beginning of this half, just to let them know again the physicality. Like, hey, we got a guy that has 6 foot on the length on his arms, so we're gonna put him. And then on the let's say 5 minutes into the third quarter, that's when I want to see Rose. You get what I'm saying? Like, I want to keep Rose as fresh as I can because I don't want to rely on Luca, but I want to get I know what Rose is going to give me, but I don't want 33 minutes for Rose. I want 23 minutes or 25 minutes of perfection from Rose. You know, what we did last game, we're not supposed to do it. And starting Rose, I know you're not going to say starting Rose.
No.
You know, but yeah, that's how I want it. I want a good flow of the defensive guy, the guy that's going to put scores, and then the killer instinct guy in Rose. What is your assessment on the starting point guard tomorrow?
Okay, so again, that's a lot to unpack. So I'm gonna do my best here. All right. So number one, I'm not gonna deviate from what has been the most successful rotation we've had all season. There is a mark on the wall on the clock where Thibodeau rotates guys in and out. Right. I think where we failed at in game one was Rose was asked to come into the game way too soon. Because Alfred Payton stunk up the joint. So Tom had to go to the bench and get Rose to come in way early. So when you play Rose that early, that means his legs are not as fresh in the fourth quarter when you need him to close. It's just not there.
Somebody said I'll put a spike instead of EP.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Yo, Shad is hilarious. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
You're good. But what I would do is this, so that you do not disrupt your second, because the bench is what kept us in the game. Bottom line up front. If our bench was not who they were and how they performed, we wouldn't have been anywhere close to being able to potentially win the game. So you don't want to disrupt. You don't want to disrupt that chemistry, right? Just a little bit. So again, what I would do is I would give IQ Alfred Payton's minutes. Alfred Payton right now, before Tom Thibodeau cut his minutes again to where he was only playing 8 minutes a game, he was playing 12 to 15 minutes a game. I would give quickly those minutes. All right. So
who's starting? Sorry, just let me know who's starting.
Quickly, Julius Randle, Noel, Bullock, and RJ Barrett. That's my starting five.
Are we not respecting Frank Ntilikina's veteran status in the team?
I don't care about his veteran status. His veteran status means nothing to me. What I'm worried about right now is his productivity. Status to me is like a gold placard on the outside of your door at a corporation, right? That doesn't mean you know what you're doing. That just means somebody gave you a title. That's all that means to me. So when Frank is in the game and he's earned the respect of the people that's on the floor, we can have another discussion about that. But right now, the person that I know, if I put the ball in his hands and he's coming up the court and there's an opportunity for him to take a three, guess what? Quickly he's going to shoot the ball. And 9 times out of 10, he's going to make the shot. That's my guy right now. But what I will say with Frank is I'm willing to give Frank an opportunity, because what I would do for Frank is I will put Frank in the second squad and quickly spot to figure out whether or not he's got it going on. Because, and again, in defense of Frank, when Frank has been in, he's only been in for seconds or minutes at a time. So you can't really assess, what he brings to the team.
So when is Rose coming in after quickly? When is Rose coming in the third quarter or end of the third quarter?
No. Rose comes in during his regular rotation. Tibbs has a regular rotation. When does the bench come in the first half? When does Tibbs bring the bench in? After the
sometimes like 6 to 8 minutes in.
Exactly. That's when Rose comes into the game. So we're not getting away from our rotation. We are not going to deviate from the rotation works. That's what kept us. That's what kept us in game one. So why would we go away from something that we know that works? We're not going to do that.
Well. The thing is, one thing we got to talk about is the fact that like before I was talking about, let's just give him 10 minutes. Let's give him 3 minutes. I don't want this man to play at all right now. EP. I want him in the bench.
He's on the bench. Look,
hey, you know what? What's the position of Theo Pinson? Is Theo Pinson a point guard?
Yes, you gotta let him finish, man. Come on, bro.
My bad.
You gotta let him finish.
He's a guard. So Theo Pinson. So Alfred Payton in the scenario that we're discussing right now, Alfred Payton does not play. this game at all. Period. He's going down there and he's sitting next to Kevin Knox, and they're having a conversation about whatever they're talking about, if they choose to talk at all. But my rotation is this. Emmanuel Quickly is the starting guard. He plays Alfred Payton minutes, which will be 12 to 15 minutes in the game, the entire game. But because he's only playing that amount of minutes, you still have the ability to bring Quickly back on the floor if you need him in the second unit to be able to produce if Frank Ntilikina is in and he's not doing anything for you. So his legs are still fresh enough that he can come in and contribute to that second unit.
That sounds good. That sounds good. It's mostly control of Rose points, because I want Rose to end the game every time.
Rose in my scenario,
so I don't want to use him in the first quarter, to tell you the truth.
So in my scenario, Rose's minutes will stay the same. The amount of minutes that he's been playing throughout the entire season will remain the same.
Yeah, but last game he played more than what he usually. He did play 35 points, I believe, or 33 minutes.
He did, because Tibbs was forced to bring him in the game because Alfred Payton's production was not there. He brought him in early. That's why I said we take Alfred Payton out of the whole entire situation. We start Emmanuel Quickly so Rose can get back into his regular rotation. Regular schedule programming, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're talking about.
We forgot at AB, Alec Burks.
No, we didn't. Alec Burks is on the second unit. He comes in.
So he comes in with. Got you.
So the second unit is this: you will have Derrick Rose, you will have Frank Ntilikina, you will have Alec Burks, you will have Taj Gibson, and you will have Obi Toppin. That is the second unit that's coming in to play ball. Now, again, the only person that I would take out of that rotation if he is not producing and quickly has gotten his breath back, I would swap out Frank for IQ. That would be what I did.
Okay. Nah, man. It took one game for IQ to show me he's built for this type of moment.
You know what? Sometimes when you're young, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what to feel.
You don't. True.
You don't. So when Frank and I'm sorry, when IQ came into the game, when Obi came into the game, they're playing basketball, baby. It's just like waking up on Saturday morning, going down to Rutgers and say, listen, where's the board that I got next? You know what I'm saying? This is my squad right here. We got next. Let's go. And you don't know when you walk into that environment that you're going up against the legends of the park, right? These are people that come, they own the court. From the time they get to the court to the time they leave, nobody gets them off the court. This is the team you're facing.
No, that also has a lot of connection with Obi, because Obi grew up probably not going to MSG, but Obi's story is beautiful,
It is.
Obi's story is, because when I think about N1, you mentioned Rucker Parks. What happened? Somebody they killed.
I'm watching the chat, right? And Big
what they say?
Big Taz says when I was talking about Alfred and Knox sitting there talking about whatever, it's like they would probably be talking about Fortnite. I don't know who let it out of the bag that Kevin Knox played Fortnite, but he would never live that down ever in life. He would always. So if I was him, what I would be doing right now is calling whoever that game's producer is and give me some advertisement money right now, some endorsement money.
Well, that's probably what we don't know either. That's another thing that we don't know. We don't know if he got the bag. We don't know if he got a $250,000 just to put, because that's a walking billboard. That's a billboard. That's for you to say, hey, there's gonna be, I don't know, I'm putting numbers. There's gonna be 10 million eyes or 20 million, because we got 2 eyes, but there's gonna be 20 million eyes watching this. Can you put this on and just marketing? Can we put this on and we'll give you a bag? If he would have told us that, we would have been like, wow, that's genius. He made a quarter. But again, like Fortnite, this 15-year-olds are making millions of dollars just by playing a video game. So like, who are we really laughing at? That Kevin Knox hate is crazy.
You're right. So I don't want to get away from the points that you made. I want to be able to address each one of them. So we talked about Luca, Mitch and Pell, right? Pelle. So I know there's been rumors out there that says Mitch could potentially come back and play during the playoffs or whatever the case may be. I don't know what Mitch's real health status is right now. Yeah. I definitely don't want to rush him back and cause him to regress in his rehabilitation, right? We don't want to do that. So I would stick with who I would go with who I brought to the dance, right? I would stick with Noel.
Oh, no, but come on. But G-Man, you don't want me to believe in Vildoza. So okay, Vildoza is out of the conversation, but you gotta give me one, G-Man. You gotta give me one because
which one?
Nerlens Noel, Nerlens. I'd rather Mitch because I'd rather both, man. I want both. I want both, G-Man.
So, Gas, let me paint a picture for you real quick, right? How in your mind right now, how are you thinking about Mitch? Are you thinking about Mitch pre-injury or post-injury? How are you thinking about Mitch right now?
Oh, man, that was a good question. That was a good question. You're right. He's going to be very sensible. But it's just the energy that this kid brings to the game.
The energy that the kid brought to the game. We have not seen Mitch play basketball in how long?
Since for 2 months and a half, 3 months.
Longer than that.
Is it longer?
Yes, it's much longer than that.
Oh yeah, I was overseas actually when that happened. Oh man.
So you're talking about a guy that he's missed over half the season. Over half the season. So what you're telling me right now, Gas, I want to make sure I'm clear. I want to make sure I'm perfectly clear with what I'm about to say. If Mitch is healthy, if we know that Mitch is 100% healthy, bring him back. Absolutely. He could add value to this team. Absolutely.
You know why I feel like it's a good sell on Mitch? The good sell on Mitch is that I think I just mentioned it, that like I want to have those two twin towers. You know, I want to have that OB on the side, and we didn't get to see Mitchell Robinson benefiting benefiting from the Derrick Rose trade. I believe he got injured a few days before Rose even came to the picture. Yeah, so that's my point. That the way he could contribute to the game could be like it's so critical. Like just not only on the offense, on the creation of like the lobs. You know, like we need to be the next lob city. We got the DeAndre Jordan in him because DeAndre Jordan put that in Mitch. So I want Mitch to be able to show me something here, because Mitch is one of those kids that like he was drafted out of high school. He didn't get to go to college, you know. So the playoff will give him some type of entitlement. I feel like, not in a bad way, but in a sense of like you don't want to come back next year and then have the same conversation of like he doesn't have any playoff experience. So it's mostly for the playoff experience, that even if it's 2 plays and we get to say, yo, we won that game because Mitchell Robinson had great defense, you know, because it's not to take any points from Nerlens Noel. Nerlens Noel is still going to be my starter. Nerlens Noel, I'm still going to bring him back next year, but it's different type of talent as a how you call it, as a center. Nerlens Noel is not too good with rebounds.
Now, Nerlens Noel is a rim protector. He's not a rebounder.
He's a rim protector, but that's what I'm trying to say. But again, like Mitchell Robinson will, like, you know, when they're getting those offensive rebounds, that's not going to happen with Mitch in the center. So for clutch ending games, Mitch will be great. And if Mitch doesn't come back, why we don't put him Norris Pell? You didn't talk about Norris Pell. Talk to me about Norris Pell.
I was trying to get there. I was trying to get there.
No, you're getting into so many good points, man. So that's the thing.
I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back to Mitch for a hot minute.
I wrote down what you said. So going back, you said IQ stars. Rose comes in the second unit with Frank, with Alec, with Obi, and maybe IQ if Frank is not playing. So that was. So when you bring in Norvis Pelt.
So well, before I get to Norvis Pelt, I'm gonna have to give you two scenarios, right? The first scenario is gonna be this: if Mitchell Robinson is not gonna play during the playoffs, then we're gonna stick with our contingent of people that we play at the 5. And the people that we play at the 5 right now are Nerlens Noel, Todd Gibson, and then every once in a while, depending on what's going on, foul trouble, injuries, or whatever the case may be, Pele plays, right?
Yeah.
If Pele has not seen time on the floor right now, that means that he has not shown Tom Thibodeau enough to have him play him in this particular type of game atmosphere. So regardless of what fans think that Pele should do, or whatever shine they think that he should get, he's got to show the coach that. Nice. He's got to show the coach that. So I think that based on when we're talking about rebounding, right? I think Noel understands and he knows that the only thing he needs to do is box out in the paint and give the guards an opportunity to rebound. That's when Julius Randle is able to get his triple-double. That's when RJ Barrett has, 12 rebounds or whatever the case would be, or him or Reggie Bullock or whatever the case would be. Noel is not getting – so this is why I hate box scores. This is exactly why. Because if you look at a box score, you think you understand what went on in the game. But you're not watching the game. You're not watching Noel try to outbody somebody that outweighs him by at least 40 to 50, 60, 80 pounds.
No, and in the new NBA, the only line people always look at is the plus and minuses. So people look at the plus and minuses and they just think like, oh, I already got the whole set game. Like I already have my narrative. Oh well, he was minus 20, and it's like,
I don't look at that crap because that's what it is. It's crap. That's someone that wants to take a shortcut instead of sitting down. This is the thing, right? So you making me go off on a whole nother tangent right now, right? So go ahead. This is the thing I got a problem with right now. If your profession, you're gonna make me get in my position again. I'm trying to get out of my position. If your profession tells you your job is to be a sports writer, right?
Yeah.
Your job is to report on a specific sport. I'm not saying all sports, one specific sport, one specific game that you're going to talk about on your show the next day. Why would you not watch the game? Why would you not use the eye test to tell you what it is we're about to talk about? So when you get questions, especially if you're on a debate show, okay, so here we go. I'm going to say this right here. And for all listeners that's watching the show right now, and for everybody that's going to rewatch the show, this is what I want to have happen. If you tend to use anything that you have seen on the Lawrence Tiz Network, Nick and Night, tonight, we need to get some acknowledgement. At least say, I was in the pod last night, or my representative, whoever, and this is what I heard. Give us our props, right? Don't sit up there, because eventually what's going to happen is this. Have you ever heard the saying, "Oh, how the mighty have fallen"? You ever heard that saying, Gaz?
Yeah, I heard it before, but you could explain it to me a little bit because I know it, but
I'm gonna give it to you right now. It's like this. So all these professional people, I'm gonna put it in air quotes, professional people, right? And the only reason we call them professionals is because they get paid for what they're doing right now. Not saying that they're great at it, but I'm just saying they get paid to do what they do. Because I'm telling you right now, I would take any Knicks fan that has been on any of these pods, any of these platforms, and put them up against any of these mainstream talking heads that's out there giving their opinions about what's going on. I will put them. Look, case in point.
And it's not just you, G-Man. ESPN fire, I believe I read 47 journalists, 47 writers, etc. They fire a lot. They clean house during the pandemic, right?
I'm gonna give you.
I'm gonna give you the next move. I'm
gonna give you a perfect example, right? If you watch CP show, Who is CP?
You just took it out of my head.
Who is CP sitting across? Max Kellerman off of ESPN.
That's what I was gonna say. So that was what I was gonna say. That the tables have turned. I don't even like when Max goes on those like Max is using this moment as of like, oh CP, I'm giving you an opportunity to come to my show. The reality is CP's making better numbers than ESPN on YouTube, and that's the intended audience, YouTube. So it's like, no, bro. The thing is, you actually taking from my game. You coming into my stuff, you know. That's why I think ESPN is allowing CP to get copyrights, like, you know, record the show and things like that. You know, because they know it's like I think that happened with Complex. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose you a little bit here, but Complex, there's this guy named DJ Academics, you know. Complex used to have like 1 million subscribers on YouTube. DJ Academics comes in, they go all the way to 10 million followers. Why? Because the guy is already in tune with media. So the same people that view him, they just follow him to the corporation. So the corporation is now like right now, I'm pretty sure Kwame Brown is getting calls every 3 seconds because
probably
he's getting. They said it yesterday. More people are watching Kwame Brown than the Laker game, for example. You know, like so it's critical. But you're right. Like now the fans are so informed in New York that we see through the bird lines. We see through the defamation of character from a lot of this media heads. You know, they make money out of just literally trying to belittle the athletes. And also, I also think that a lot of these journalists are a little bit jealous too. You know, because a lot of these guys are, when you're an athlete, you get some preferential treatment in college, in high school, in universities, etc. You know, you don't. The nerd has to make your homework in a sense, you know?
Yeah.
You try to make it to the team, you know, you Stephen A. Smith, you trying to make it to the team. Hey, coach. Coach tells you, hey, can you do G-Man's homework? Because G-Man is the starting guard. So G-Man's getting all the accolades and things like that. Like, you know, and even when G-Man, but you're not even getting varsity, you know, you're not even letting you start, you know? So it's like, that's the type of feeling. And they grow up and they get a degree and they still have the animosity on them. So there's not a lot of respect for the athletes, mostly when you have like the words like vintage on Derrick Rose or Carmelo Anthony being retired, like being forced to retire for a whole year. Like I would never forgive the league for that, you know, because Carmelo, I think he's the top 10 scorer right now in the all-time list.
I think 8. I thought he was 8.
8. Yeah, but G-Man, if he would have been playing for that whole year, he would have been closer. That's what I'm trying to say. So the league cost him a lot. You know, the way people just didn't believe in him.
So I'm an advocate of this, and I don't disagree with anything that you just said. Nothing. I just have a different viewpoint on it, right? So let's start with Carmelo. So, like anything else that happens in the world, we have to adjust based on what our situation is. When the pandemic came up, we had to adjust and figure out a different way to do things that we would normally do a whole different way. Survival. It's about survival of the fittest. I think that I applaud the people that were around Carmelo because they did not allow him to sink back into a pit of despair, right?
Facts.
People actually came out and supported Carmelo, his efforts and his energy, and that's I believe in my heart of hearts, that's why he got the opportunity with the Trailblazers, right?
I also believe that he didn't allow the temptations of the skin to bring him out, because you know it takes a lot of character to go, okay, I'm not getting signed, should I drink some soda, go partying, gain weight. He was physical every time.
I think this, Nick Gas, and I'm very passionate about what I'm about to say, right?
Yes, sir.
I think that most times people tend to take the easy road. I'm not going to call it the high road or the low road. I'm going to call it the easy road. Anything, a person of, let's say, low character, right? If you are a person of low character, I don't expect for you to make the best decisions. Because in my mind, what you're going to do is you're going to take the easy way out, whatever that fast money is, whatever, the easiest way to get me out of whatever situation I'm in, that's the road you're going to take. You're not going to take the road that says, okay, well, listen, what I need to do is I need to enroll in night classes while I'm working a full-time job and get this education going so that I can, further myself in whatever goals, aspirations I have in life. You're not going to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to be up at 3:00 in the morning, 2:02 right now. You're going to be watching me, telling you what I'm telling you right now. And at the same time, in the background, your TV set has an infomercial on it that says, if you send me $49.95 for the next 6 months, I can get you a college degree and make you a successful whatever. And that's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do. That's not what we do. Athletes in general get a real bad rap because people, what irritates me the most? I'm retired from the military and I have a very lucrative practice that I'm doing someplace else, right? So it's not like that I wake up in the morning and try to figure out if I can pay my electric bill. That's not my life at all. I say all that,
and you shouldn't, because you serve our country. So thank you for your service.
Thank you very much. I don't say all that to get accolades or anything like that. I say all that to say this: when you are an NBA athlete, you are easy target because you know what? Those people that is not as fortunate as you, this is what they will do to you. They will try to pick you apart. And then they have the audacity to try to decide whether or not you're deserving of a contract that you just got that was negotiated fair and square. They will try to I don't understand where we came. How did we get to the point where we allow other people to validate our self-worth? Right?
And the worst thing is one guy that's coming to mind is Cam Newton, Remember a month ago, 2 months ago, when Cam Newton invited a few kids to his camp, to the Cam Newton camp, and there was like a 12-year-old, a 15-year-old that I think by that time Cam didn't resign, and he was basically saying like you a bum, like you're unemployed, etc.
Yeah,
man, that was but you know who started that? The media.
Yeah,
when the media allowed a kid to see this guy who, again, you cannot take the fact that like not everybody makes it to the NBA, not everybody makes it to the NFL. There's only 495 NBA players. So just by you stepping on that court or even being a Tito Pinson in the bench, you still made it.
You're an NBA team.
You're an NBA player.
So I'll say all that to say this, guys. And I'm gonna wrap it up with this right here. My point is this, right? You cannot allow yourself to be led. You imagine this. Imagine how uncomfortable this is. What I'm about to tell you. Imagine how uncomfortable this would feel if somebody walked up to you right now, took their pinky finger with a long nail on it and stuck it up your nose, and then they hooked it, and then they just start telling you, follow me, because they're just walking you around the room with their nail in your nose. How uncomfortable is that? I want you to think.
First of all, it's passive aggressive, but it's also very aggressive at the same time. Like, what my nose? Violated. I feel violated.
For everybody that's watching this pod right now, I want you to take your pinky finger, and stick it in your nose, and then pull on it.
That's hard. That actually hurts.
That's really uncomfortable, right? So when you do not have the intestinal fortitude to stick to what you believe, right? Don't let these talking heads sway you and change your mind. Do your research, right? Just because you got a Max Kellerman or a Stephen A. Smith, a Shannon Sharp, what's my man name on the Herd, Colin Coward, Skip Bayless, or whoever. I don't care who it is, right? I don't care about none of these people because in my mind, They have not done their due diligence for me to be able to trust what they're saying. Because they may report what's on the surface, but I want the underlying story. I want to know about the human aspect to what you report. What's going on with that individual? You
Yeah,
can't
it's like they end up being like stockbrokers, you know. So when they look at the players, like they're not looking at the human being, they're not looking at people's feelings. Oh man, another bomb. You got to read it. You got to read it because the chat loves when you read the comments. What somebody said now.
I'm looking at Jason Camacho says, so this is what happened to this channel. So Jason, I'm gonna need for you to expound upon that, because if there's something that you would like for us to discuss, please put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in. Don't throw subliminals. Don't throw subliminals now. It's like you're just coming in with hate.
Yeah, hey, listen, I wouldn't even call it hate. He has an opinion. I would like to hear what his opinion is. So Jason, please go ahead and educate us and as to what you would like to hear. What you would like to hear us discuss. I'm just saying.
Oh man, so back to tomorrow at 7:30, the Knicks are playing the Atlanta Hawks on game 2 of the 4th and the 5th seed series. Man, it feels good to be in the playoff.
Hold on.
Oh, he said he got it. He got it.
Yeah, he replied. He said, "Talk about the Knicks versus the Hawks tomorrow." Okay, Jason, we're gonna do that. And Nick Gas was just about to go in that direction, so he is essentially reading your mind, and you don't even know it. Go ahead, Nick Gas.
And we actually went through the type of lineups that we could actually use. So I think you gotta be. Sometimes in the chat, you guys are like, just go back 5 minutes before and then come back to live. But don't come into live like, give me what I want now, because we're not monolithic. Everybody thinks different. like it's funny. It's funny.
I'm gonna step away for about 2 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Yeah. No, definitely. There's a report that when they were asking Tom Thibodeau about benching EP. He actually, for the first time, we heard Tom Thibodeau walking around the question, but also acknowledging that, you know what, I do got to reassess and put the right person to play and start with the right person that is going to get us to a win. Elfrid Payton, I don't even want to say his name. Elfrid Payton scoring 0 points is not how you win a game. So G-Man just gave us, and that's for you, Jason, because you need it to be just for you. You need to be focused on you, Jason. So here, very quickly, G-Man said, bench Elfrid Payton. Bring in IQ as a starter. After you bring in IQ as a starter, 7 minutes in, the second unit comes in. With the second unit, I'm gonna have D-Rose. I'm gonna have Frank. I'm gonna have D-Rose, Alec Burks, Obi, and maybe Randle and Barrett. So we gotta learn how to use whatever players we have right now, whatever talent we have right now. We gotta use it. We gotta use our whole bench. If anything, we can even use Theo Pinson. Theo Pinson is still an NBA player, but if this guy's giving me no production, I don't want to continue 3 more games or 4 more games or whatever if we go to game 7 of no production from Elfrid Payton. Another thing, well, I erased most of the things that I had already on the bullet points. But tomorrow we're gonna win this game, man. We got the whole city backing us up. We got the whole city turned up, and we're winning. We're winning. I'm confident about tomorrow. What type of scoring are you thinking about tomorrow? A blowout, G-Man, or a close game?
No, it's going to be a close game because I have not seen an episode yet to where we play. So if you look again, I had to keep going back to the roster.
Now you have to because Jason wants it. Jason needs to, like he wants a personal, he wants this is like a 1-on-1 with Jason right now. Shout out to Hadouken. in the building.
If you look at historically how we played this team, if on paper we match up perfectly against each other, right? And I think that's how we.
The chat is on the one.
No, I just got a text from a ghost.
Oh, man. Was that by any chance? Was that Hoodie Kev?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it. He's like, who is this immigrant talking on my place? Who is this guy with an accent replacing me?
So what I would say about the matchup that we have going on in the game tonight would be this: we learn from the previous game. The games that we had in the regular season are the regular season. I take all that. I'm not going to throw them away because there are things to be learned from that. But what I'm focused on right now is game one. What happened in game one that caused us to lose the game? That's what I'm focused on. And then we can just kind of grow from there, right?
Yes,
with
sir.
the lineup, again, I already told you my lineup. I want IQ in as the starting point guard, playing Alfred Payton minutes. Alfred Payton can go sit on the bench and crochet or do tiddlywinks or whatever it is he wants to do. I really don't care at this point. But I need people in the game that are mentally invested in what's going on the floor. That's first of all. So once we do that, then I believe that the Atlanta Hawks and Mr. Trae Young. So this is what Trae Young essentially did, right? And he don't even know. He's young. He don't understand, the rules of the game. Let's just say that. He doesn't understand the rules of the game.
He should have kept it humble.
He should have. But what he did, he gave the New York Knicks billboard material. So I promise you, Mr. Trae Young, and I hope that somebody, someplace that knows you is watching this right here, right now, and they're gonna let you know, buddy, I'm gonna need for you to, put some salve on your ribs, or some moleskin on your feet, or you might want to consider wearing some goggles or something, because
G-Man, isn't it hypocritical though? Like, isn't this part of the game? Don't they, when they're playing in Utah, when they're playing in in Denver, Colorado, they call it the sixth man for a reason. That's the job of the crowd to amp you up. I'll give you I remember the game when Carmelo was beefing with KG, with Kevin Garnett.
Yep.
And salute. Oh, hey, I think Hadoop is going to come in, producer. But if you go, no worries. If you go back,
I just got a weird call, bro.
Okay.
G-Man.
Yes,
yeah, that's why I disappeared for a little bit. You ever had somebody just randomly call you? Somebody maybe one of your children call you and be like, Pop, I need to borrow $900 before 8:00.
Jesus Christ.
And the first thing you say, man, get your rump off my phone.
Yeah,
like a rent bill. It's like a rent bill. It's like Con Edison just hit you up.
You gonna call me 2:00 in the morning and send you $900 real quick before 8:00. Well,
Jesus Christ.
Take it behind the sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know it. Hey, Gas, you got any adult children?
Nah, I don't have no kids, thank God.
My oldest kid is 33 years old, Freezy. Well, I'm sorry, 34.
I only got a German Shepherd. You could consider that a kid. That's my kid.
Bro,
she don't complain much.
Gas. How you gonna call a grown man 2:00 in the morning and be like, "Yo, I need to borrow $900."
$900
right now. Yeah.
I thought you said 100.
No, $900.
Oh, that's like bond money. Like somebody's in jail type of money. Like you don't call me for that unless like calling collect is calling like, oh, this is a call from this is a quote from G Man. Like, unless it's that, like that's disrespectful. Like, wow, $900.
So what it is my guy. You know how you get your bills out the mailbox or whatever, and you throw them on the coffee table and you don't look, and then you get the warning. You get the warning sent to you. And you're like, oh snap! When did that bill come in, bro? It's been on your coffee table. It's been on your coffee table for 10 days. Yeah,
so you late now.
yeah.
You're riding dirty.
So anyway, that's what that's why I disappeared. I was like, yo, who is this calling me at this time?
No, you good.
Yeah. Man,
salute to Hadouken in the building. Hadouken, you got the floor.
So yeah, Duke ain't even gonna say hello. Right? Duke ain't even gonna say hello.
Duke is muted right now.
He might have just stepped away for a minute.
He's started.
My bad. I was getting water. I heard on my phone because I had it on too. But
salute, young man.
Duke, do you have any grown kids?
Himself. What are you talking about? This kid got to wake up to
I got
school
the same
tomorrow.
thing. I just got my dog.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, now that we're talking about animals,
I'm just gonna say, I was just telling Duke real quick. So Duke, when we had like cookouts and stuff, right? He like, hey Pops, man, go sit down, man. You know what I'm saying? Let these men handle the grill. Oh, I'm like, okay, man, handle the grill. You know what I'm saying? And then later on, they always be like, hey, Pops, listen, we short on such and such. You got $700. I'm like, $700.
Yeah, I heard that. That's wild. That's wild.
This time it's $900. But bro, I'm telling you, back in the early '80s, I had to work an entire month making minimum wage $2.25 an hour to get $700 a month.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, man. The minimum wage was $2.25, bro. And listen, I know people are like, man, talk Knicks. But this dude just frustrated me.
No, I felt that. Like, how you gonna call somebody at 3 a.m.? Like, and God, at least you was awakened. But imagine if you just waking up to a person like, yo, Pops, I need $900. It's like, yo, like you woke me up for that. Like, that's the thing about it. Like, that's why you don't call somebody at that time.
Yeah, I would never ask for 900. That's like, that's crazy.
Freezy, I would tell you this, Freezy. So you get two different perspectives, right? you get a perspective for those that have no kids that don't understand what children do, and then I'm gonna tell you right now, the conversation that you had right now, that you just had, I've had that on more than one occasion, at odd hours than 2 a.m. So
yes,
when someone,
this
you know what I'm saying?
Not with the same one, but with you know what I'm saying, with the girls be like, yo, they get into this, I'm independent, I don't want to have to depend on a man for nothing, and blah 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 blah. But Pops, I need $375.
That's for sure.
Like, oh.
I'm Freeze. I'm gonna give a recommendation to your son if he's listening. Freeze Jr. The best time to ask your father for money will be tomorrow at 10 p.m. after the Knicks win. After a Knicks win, you want to ask for the nice $900 when he's in a good mood.
So Nick Gass, let me educate you, because again, you don't have kids. I'm a father and I have kids. So there's never a good time for you to ask your parent or your father for money. Ever. Because once you leave my house, I have given you the tools you need to succeed in life. You calling me for money, why?
We had an 18-year contract. Your contract is done. Get out of here.
It's done. It's done. And I don't have a re-up option. So if you're calling me, that means at some point in the lesson, you were not paying attention. And that's not my fault. So you cannot call me when you are in a destitute mode that says, hey, and this is what kids do, right? This is why I love my children. I love all my children equally, every one of them. My daughter is about to graduate on Thursday morning. She's an honor student. So I'm gonna be the proud dad that stands out there.
Congratulations.
And thank you. I'm gonna be that proud dad that stands out there and embarrasses my kid because I'm proud of my kid, right? They're like, who is this old dude with the gray beard out here acting a fool at the high school graduation? Oh yeah, it's me. I'm gonna have somebody record that so I can post it. Because I'm telling you right now, my daughter's gonna be mad at me. She probably won't speak to me for another 2 weeks. But
congratulations, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I said all that to say this. As far as kids go, right? The only thing we can do for our children is to set them up in a place to where they are going to be more successful than we are, right? We give them in a foundational manner. We provide for them so that they don't have to worry about being able to eat. You know, when I was
generational wealth in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. When I was, trying to go to college in the military, it was online, and I went to like Freezy. I had been to about 8 schools in the course of the time for me to get my degree.
Yes.
But at some point, when you're in the barracks, you come up with these crazy meals that they call dormitory meals. So you take a hot dog and you cut it up. You put it in some top ramen and you boil that, and then you throw some peas in there, and then you sprinkle some hot flakes in there, and that's your dinner. That ain't healthy.
No,
where is that healthy at?
That's not healthy.
And where do we do that at? But that's what we do to survive, right? You don't want your kid to go through that. You don't want your kid to go. Some people will tell you point blank, I do not want my child to join the military. They will tell you that to your face. And, I have to respect that. If that's what you do, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I have no ill will against you. But if you look at the statistics will tell you 1% of the American population has joined the military. 1%. Let that sink in for a second, right? But that 1% allows us to do exactly what we're doing at 2:23 in the morning on Wednesday, the 26th of May. May in 2021. Let that sink in for a moment. I'm sorry, please. I got on a rant. I'm sorry, my bad.
No. That first of all, I didn't even know that was the amount of. That's amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about these Knicks, right? Because I'm like, I heard a lot, which I heard Knicks guys talk about Frank, and I got some built up Frank frustration, right? But then when I was about to get in, my boy called me and is like, "Yeah, man,
more frustration."
like, man, Pops, why you tripping? He said, "Why you tripping, man? It's only $900." And bro, $900 to me, I ain't gonna lie to you, y'all. $900 to maybe not to some, right? And I don't judge, but $900 to some may not be no money, but $900 to me is that's lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money, man. That to me, that's a lot of money, bro.
And during the pandemic, that's almost a stimulus if we're keeping it real. So the government give us a stimulus for like 3 months. So imagine for him to just ask for $900, that's a lot for a lot of people.
You can call me and ask me for $1. I'm gonna have a problem with that. I'm just saying,
bro. $900. You know how much money that is? And I mean, to me, bro. $900, bro. I'm telling you, man, is to me and Mocha. That man, come on, bro. This can't even be real life right now. But you know what? I was like, no, right? Yeah, I'm like, no, I ain't saying no, but I already know he's gonna call his mama and she gonna do it,
and she gonna give it to her,
right?
She gonna give it to her,
and put him on a payment plan.
A payment plan. Yep.
He gonna pay me back $100 a year for the next 9 years. That's how it is. That's how it's gonna be.
That's funny.
Hey, Freezy, is he the oldest? Is he the oldest?
No, the middle one.
The middle. Okay.
He the identity guy. Like, one day he, what I'm saying, I want to be president of the United States. And then like a year
Oh,
later,
so he's a
like,
journeyman. He's a journeyman.
Yeah. The next year, he like, the system sucked. Fight the
Hey
power
man,
boss.
oh man,
Yeah.
I like that kid. How old is he? I mean, I don't want to ask how old, but I kind of like that. You know,
20,
mostly because
27.
within my generation, we have the powers to do that.
No, you don't. You don't. You think you
in
do.
a sense. Let me reassess myself.
Let me explain to you what you just said, right?
Oh,
So
man.
in order for you to have the power to do something, you have to have the financial backing to be able to do whatever it is that you need to do. You cannot go out on a venture and say, I want to do this, and then get into the venture and figure out, hey, I don't have the financial backing to do this. I need to call my father. That's not what we do. That's not what we do. That's not how the world works. You have to. First of all, I talked about foundational things, right? So a lot of times, what we do as the human population is we get ahead of ourselves, right? We see things that are nice and shiny and figure out the best way to get there in the most effective manner, and that's not always the most effective. So what I'm saying is this: if you have an endeavor that you want to undertake, something that you want to do your homework, pool your resources, and know that when you go into this, there may be extenuating circumstances, and then you're able to, kind of garner the resources you need to continue to move forward. But you got to have a plan, and the plan is not called mama and daddy when you get into a problem.
Right. And so I ain't even want to get into it, but it had me so frustrated, man. Like how you gonna call somebody 9 o'clock? I'm like, yo, you in jail? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on? And he didn't want to tell, but you know what? I'm gonna let it rock, bro. Cause I don't want, man. Listen, when you
you don't want a problem with Miss Mocha.
Right,
you don't want to make you don't want that problem with Miss Mocha. I'm telling you right now, you don't want that smoke.
Because she why are you so hard on the boys? Why are you so hard on the boys? That's all it is. Why you want them to be in debt when they start having the babies? You don't want them to be in. Hey, I don't want to talk about this. I just want. I just walk in the room and work on the Knicks morning drive, bro. That's how it is. I just work on some thumbnails. I just work on some thumbnails for the Knicks morning drive. You know what I'm saying? It's just good.
Freezy, you sick, boy. You sick.
Hey, man. But the thing about it, because okay, so the college graduates, they do all these things, man. All that stuff that you see on TV, they did. Now my life wasn't like that. I messed up a lot of stuff.
Me too.
I messed up a lot of stuff, and I'm not ashamed of it no more. I used to be ashamed of a lot of stuff, but I'm not ashamed of it anymore, man. Because you live and you learn, and nobody's perfect.
That's right.
But bro, these cat. Oh, man. You should see them. They getting on it. So I grew up in Jersey City, right? No lie, me, my mother, my grandmother, my sister and brother. We had for dinner. We would probably get like one canned veggie, like some peas, and we would split a can, and we would split a can of treats. Not even Spam. We had treats.
You know really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
We couldn't afford Spam, bro. We would cut up that Spam, and 5 people would share it because we were so poor, bro.
Wow.
And, you know what I'm saying? And so like we would get some chicken. We get chicken. Chicken had to last us 3 days, right? So we get a whole chicken, bucket it up. Yes, but I'm telling you, bro. We came from. People laugh like they hear me talk about this stuff, but they don't know where we come from, bro. I'm telling you, we were so poor. You know what I'm saying? We were so poor, man. I mean, but anyway, but my kids, they get out of their fancy cars, holding these lap dogs. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Dad, your dog ain't even dirty. Has he been outside?
Listen, $5,000 lap dogs. The dog costs more than the car. What are we doing?
What are we doing here? Cully, don't laugh at me, Cully, because I know Cully got a smile on his face right now, bro. Cully, don't you be laughing at me, bro. But anyway, I wanted to talk about Nick Gas. What you said about Frank? Are you serious, bro?
No.
Are you serious?
You know what? Sometimes, again, Freezy, and this kind of ties into what we just talked about, right? Sometimes, and I'm gonna wait for Nick. I'm gonna talk slow, so Nick Gas has an opportunity to come back to the mic, and there he is, right on cue. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the young and uninitiated have a thought in their mind, and us as elder statesmen, when we have a thought in our mind, we've been in a position to where we speak it to ourselves out loud and see how it sounds before we publicize it to the public, right? The younger generation don't do that. They are of the fact of the mindset that if it's in my mind and I think it's right, I'm gonna say what it is I think I need to say, and then whatever happens after that, let that be what it's gonna be, and I'm willing to battle back.
Can I just say 1 minute of that? Basically, what I meant to say about like sometimes, like, and maybe my situation is different because I'm an immigrant. So like when I look at America, I'm very poised on the opportunities that I could be able to have. So from 18 to 28, for example, I was an activist. I worked for the Attorney General. I was studying criminal justice. I wanted to be a lawyer. I got an Associate's of Criminal Justice. John Jay, I went for criminal justice and forensics, but I never went to law school, right? I didn't want to pursue law school. I went on the activist route. I did good. I've been in the front cover of the Wall Street Journal. I've been in the front cover of the New York Post. I worked for the mayor. I've done my stuff, but I also had to learn politics to say, politics is not for me. I don't want to be in that world. Then I stumbled upon comedy. With comedy, I can say the same things, have more freedom, but I don't have to deal with like the problems of politics. So I had to go through that journey. To be able to say it's not for me. Being in college for 12 years just to get a degree is not for me. Fighting for the whole world is not for me anymore. Now comedy is like so different. So that's what I mean. Like that. Like sometimes you have to fall into those little branches to be able to find yourself.
I agree.
Hey, so
go ahead, Freezy.
Oh, I was gonna say I understand where you're coming from, and I respect that. But what you said about Frank was trash.
Say that again.
Wait,
bring me back. Can you bring me back? I really forgot about the Frank.
I don't know what happened.
I really forgot the Frank take. I'm sorry.
No, I respect that. I respect where you come from and your struggle, bro. But what you said about Frank is trash.
Okay, remind me because I said a lot of things I forgot.
So first of all, let me first say this. Frank Ntilikina is a 6'4" Tree Rollins. Right? Frank Ntilikina.
He don't know who Tree Rollins is. Freezy. He does not know who Tree Rollins is. He doesn't know who that is.
That's right.
I really don't know.
So okay. So Frank Ntilikina is a 6'4" Chris Kaman.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, wait a minute. Ooh, even better. Frank Ntilikina is a 6'4" Luke Cornett without a jumper.
Luke Cornett.
Without the jumper.
What's a Nick?
Great comparison.
Without the jumper.
Without the jumper. Yeah.
Great comparison.
Hey.
So I assume you don't like the word veteran right next to Frank. Then that's what triggered you when I say veteran.
No,
right?
I don't like the word point guard next to Frank.
Exactly.
Frank Ntilikina is not a point guard, bro.
Not even anywhere in his job description does point guard need to be included in that.
Because if he said if Gas had said I like Frank in that Tony Allen role, I would have lined up beside you and we'd have you know what I'm saying, with the wall on that point. But Frank is not a point guard, man. He's not.
Nope.
He's not a triangle point guard, not a pick and roll point guard, not an ISO point guard, not a 1-4 motion point guard.
Not a preschool point guard. None of that.
Right. No, man, Frank is not a point guard. You know what I'm saying? Frank is. Is there a super chat? I think there's a super chat by Joel Elvis. So are we winning tonight, guys? Super chat. Joel Elvis Hoops. Sorry about that.
Did I miss something? I don't see a super chat.
Oh, that's not a super chat? Oh, it looks blue. Never mind, sorry.
That's just a YouTube That's a YouTube pop up.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
So I
Sorry.
was like, I used to see things like that.
So
Where Freezy go?
Hadouken, since you're here, G-Man earlier in the stream gave us an assessment of how we're going to use our starting point guard. How are we going to distribute AP, EP? Please do not say his name because we're not trying to bring bad juju to our stream. So, but what are we going to do with the starting point guard? Who you going to put in the first quarter? Who you going to put in the half? Who you going to put in the third quarter? How are we going to assess? Let me know how your players.
I mean, with seeing when Julius was getting his Most Improved Player award, he still had the blue jersey on, so he's gonna be starting. All the people that are going to start had it on, so he's still starting. So I expect him to be out longer though in the first quarter. I don't expect him to go out in 3 minutes. I think he's gonna come out at like 6 minutes, probably 5.5, whatever. They put in Rose, and then towards the end of the quarter, they bring in quickly probably and Burks for the substitutions, and then I don't know if Frank is gonna play. That's the tough thing to do. That's like a guess. That's still situational, to be honest.
But focus mostly on the starting guard, and then we talk about the whole team. We're talking mostly about starting guard, like how you're gonna distribute the minutes with Rose, with Quickly, with Alec Burks, and with Frank.
EP is going to play for like 6 minutes probably in the first quarter. Then we're gonna transition to Rose. Quickly is not gonna be the starting
EP. You starting EP then?
Yeah.
Oh jeez. Okay.
Oh, by the way, shout out to Elvis. He said that wasn't a super chat. He said it was not, but here you go, family. Shout out to that $5 super chat.
You might have just you got the free promo.
Salute.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, but
so
EP's gonna play 6 minutes, and then we're gonna have Rose in until the end of the quarter, and then they're gonna put the bench in. So he's gonna play like probably up to the 7 minute mark or 6 minute mark in the second. And I don't know. I feel like we always start the third quarter with EP, and that's gonna happen again.
And it's horrible.
Yeah,
horrible.
It's gonna happen again 100%. So we're gonna see EP at that spot again.
So Hadouken, what you're telling me right now is I need to go ahead and between now and the time the game starts,
prepare
take
yourself.
some Pepto-Bismol and some Tums because my stomach gonna be hurting when I'm watching on the screen. Is that what you're telling me?
Take some Tylenol, some Adderall.
Jesus Christ.
To calm yourself.
I'm with you. As long as I know that up front, I know what to do. I agree with you though. I agree because Tibbs is a creature of habit. Unfortunately. He is a creature.
So you're not. So you guys are not reading because Mark Post said. I know the Post is not the best.
He said that he answered differently, but
he tried to play around the answer. So he didn't want to give us something firm,
but he still had the blue starting jersey, so that just told me that he's starting.
And during practice and like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
This is what I would say, Nick Gas, is this right? I have not seen Tibbs move off of a lineup unless there was an injury involved. I have not.
Except one game that we had. I remember when we had Bergson, the starting lineup, and then he got substituted instantly, like a few minutes in for Bullock because it just didn't work out. We tried it once. It was a while ago. We tried it once,
and then didn't work out. And that's probably why
we played with Burks at the 3 for a few minutes, and then for the starting lineup, and then they put Bullock right away.
I guess my thing is this, right? I don't know if there are, and I hate to use political terms, right? But if there are things happening behind the scenes concerning Alfred Payton and his playing minutes or whatever the case may be, I don't know what that is. But I know what my eye test tells me. Alfred Payton sucks. You know what I'm saying? That's what my eye test. And if I'm a head coach in any organization, it don't have to be the NBA. I could be the head coach of my third grade, whoever basketball teams is. And if you're not producing, why am I going to have you on the floor? That makes no sense to me. None at all. So why, for the sake of everything that's holy and blessed and heavenly, are we still playing Alfred Payton? Somebody
That's a good point.
is going to have to go out and get that information and get it to me and let me know. It doesn't have to be public. If it's some clandestine things that's going on, that's fine. I just need to know because right now, what I'm seeing doesn't pass the common sense test. Albert, how many games have Alfred Payton been bad in before the playoffs? Before leading up to the playoffs, how many games have Alfred Payton had just not shown up? How many?
Probably half the games.
I'm thinking at least eight. At least 8 of them.
65% of them.
He hasn't showed up in the last good amount, but I think that's a good point because it's like I would understand if he was producing in different ways and affecting the game, but he just I don't know. He just doesn't look good in the game. I don't know.
Alfred Payton does not look like right now today. Alfred Payton does not look like he belongs in the NBA. Dude.
How about this, G-Man? When was the last time that Alfred Payton had a 3-point shot? When was it? Because I haven't.
Regular season.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, bro. It's been a minute.
I feel like
was it pre-All-Star break?
No,
even
he had one. No, he had
Frank
one.
is getting better.
No, he had one not that long ago in the regular season. Because I remember the play because what's it called? Randle was running into the paint. I don't remember what game it was, but EP was open at the 3 and RJ was open at the 3 and he passed it to EP for some reason. I almost threw up, but EP made it, so it was fine.
Oh, hold on. I believe I remember. Is that the Jay Crowder? No, I'm thinking of the Jay
I think that was the
Crowder
Pelicans game, but I don't remember. It was one of those games.
Oh, so he was playing at home in front of his mom. Well, that makes sense. He's in Louisiana. You know,
he hits it every here and then. But I think he's gonna. I don't know. This is unpopular opinion, but I think he might actually do well tomorrow. I hope he can stick Trae Young and just make him uncomfortable. Like with the limited minutes he's gonna get, he should try to at least like cause him to be mad. Like
G-Man, he stressed me out. G-Man, he stressed me out.
Who?
Hadouken just stressed me out.
No.
Yeah, because he brought reality. You're being realistic, so I respect you for being realistic.
I just because we've talked about EP so much in the last 3 days.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about him tonight.
We're not. That's what I'm telling you. You brought him back. You brought him back.
Transition now, because that's it. I just feel like he's gonna have a decent game tomorrow. That he actually does something.
And Hadouken, I agree, and I hope that he does. Because to your point. And, you know, every once in a while, Nick Gas, this is what we need, right? We need for an outside entity to come in. And because for the longest, we've been sitting here talking amongst ourselves, right? So it's your opinion and my opinion. But when you have an outside opinion that comes in, that kind of opens your thought process up.
It is. But you know,
I hope he has a good game. You see, I don't be hoping that he has a bad game because at the end of the day, he's still on our team. I mean, no matter what.
Same here, bro. You know, same here.
I agree.
I just didn't want him to play at all.
Especially better for him too to have a good game in general, so he stays in the league. I mean, I still think a team is gonna take him no matter what, like some random team.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. He won't be on the Knicks. I think we took him based on the conversation with his contract or whatever the case.
So we got a super chat from my co-host. My co-host today is my host debuted Hadouken. If you didn't know, but all Knicks fans salute. We will win this game tonight and move on to ATL in a positive manner. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. The Beck hit up with and get them likes up. And I'm gonna give a little shout outs to the chat because I know they're a little narcissistic and they love to hear their names. Joe Elvis in the house. That Beck in the house. The Game of Life.
That
Sergeant Nick is our captain. Joe Elvis again. Jason Camacho. Jay Peach is a hater. Joe Elvis. Joe Elvis is a top commentator. Quiet Money in the house. Any more? That's
Justin
about
L,
it.
Raphael, Diaz.
Let me help you out, Nick. Let me help you out real quick. Let me do this real quick. Now, hold on. I gotta get it. I gotta get in my position right now.
Okay,
So first,
let's talk about the by the way game plans after this because I didn't.
Okay.
We didn't get
Yes,
to
sir.
that.
give me 2 seconds, Hadouken. So first of all, the first thing I want you to do is recognize what this is right here. This side of the shirt. This is this right here. This is military rank, right? So what this means is what
Yeah,
I'm
I thought
about
about COD right away when I saw that. I was like, that looks familiar.
Yeah, that looks like whenever you see like, oh, he got the Medal of Honor from the president, like
Yeah,
right
I
next to
thought
the
that was
medal,
FIFA
they
for a
already
second
had
'cause I
that
saw
arrow. They
stripes.
already have that arrow, you know? Like
I'm
when
like,
they
I
talk
see
about
stripes. I thought it was
Mr.
FIFA,
G-Man
but
is
I'm
a
like, nah, I'm
contractor.
bugging. That's military.
It,
No, that's
it is.
special force. That's
It
special
is.
force.
So I won't tell you where I've been and what I've been doing. If I tell you, I have to kill you, and that's that old cliche, but that's true.
Yeah.
That is
The,
true.
I respect it.
the average military man gets like 20% discount. G-Man deserves 65% just by having that tag, just so you know.
I
You know what I'm
respect it.
saying? So what I would say is this, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm gonna need for you to do right now. My man City for Real is not in the building. City for Real is the hype man, right? But
Yeah.
I just need to know. It's 73 people in the building right now. We only got
73.
like we only got 48
Get
likes
them lights up.
right now.
Get them lights up.
So
If you're watching on mobile, just click out of the full screen. If you're watching full screen,
Smash that
close out
like
the chat
button.
for 1 second.
Smash that like
Beat the
button.
like button up. Exit out.
Beat
Turn the
it
notifications
up.
on,
Beat it
enjoy
up.
the show,
Beat that
and
like
then you
button.
get back to the viewing experience
eh,
like you never
Hadouken,
left.
educate him. Educate him, Hadouken. Educate him. Educate him.
Come
I'm
back
sorry. not
just like you
educate
never
you.
left. So, yeah.
Brother BKL Contreras is in the building. Joy Elvis Hoops is in the building. The
Shout out
game
to Chris
is
Chang
in the building. Shout
and
outs to Chris
Wilson
Shang,
Dang
Wilson Dan in the building. Make sure you
and
get
brother BKL.
put them fire emojis in the building. Put those fire emojis. Put them fire emojis. Come on, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Wilson Dang is in the building.
So here we go. Guys. This is what I want to know, right? By no means, let's get this clear right now. By no means am I saying that we're trying to take over City's job, right? But I feel like right now what's missing in this environment is the chat has not been properly acknowledged. So
Definitely.
if you want to see, if you want us to do the shout out tonight, I need to see some orange and blue in the chat. Let's get the orange and blue up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the orange and
Guys,
blue
do you
up.
guys see this colors? I want to see it in the chat.
Yes.
If I have this background colors, make sure the chat looks just like this background. We need some orange and blue in the house. Make sure, can we get the orange and blue popping before we get to the next topic? Can we get the orange and blue popping?
Let's go.
Let's get
Chris
them fires up. Let's get Chris Shang got the orange and blue in the building. Wilson Dang hit up the smoke alarm. The Beck hit up the smoke alarm. I need to see more blue and orange. I need to see more orange and blue, guys. Come on. Joe Elvis just gave me a bunch of blues. He can't afford the orange yet. That Beck is in the building with the orange and blue. Orange and blue is what we have, man. That's what we bleed. We bleed orange and I was gonna say orange and red. Brother BKL Contreras hit us with the orange and why am I imitating his voice? I gotta stop.
I don't know because you sounding like City right now. I'm telling you. So,
I know because he sounds like a little rough.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna give you the shout outs in my own flavor, right? That Beck, I love the fire. That Beck is in the building, right? Chris Chang got the orange and blue in the building. Yo, Elvis, you got the hoops up, baby. You in the building. Justin L. Oh, you got the hearts with the orange and blue in the
You sound like
building.
Jay Boogie a little bit right now, though.
I do. I'm sorry. Quiet money. My man, my G, my ride or die in the building. You know what I'm saying? Brother BKL Contreras in the building. Justin L. again in the building. Wilson Dang in the building. Jason Camacho in the building. You know what I'm saying? Again, here we go. You know what? I love repeat offenders. You know what I'm saying? I love repeat offenders. That means they believe in what they're saying and they're saying what they do. Young Beck is in the building. Quiet Money again in the building. Rogue Sweeper in the building. Yo Elvis done switched up his avatar. He's not posting red and blue anymore, orange and blue. He got some other thing going on, but he's still in the building. The game of life in the building, baby. You know what I'm saying? In the building. Again, I'm not gonna say
G-Man is on fire. Somebody said G-Man is on fire. Justin
my goodness.
Yeah, that sounds wrong. Don't read that out loud.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. So Rogue Sweeper is the last person that's in the building. I got Be Civilized.
Elvis said do Kev now. Nah, I can't.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want to do.
That's funny.
This is originally what I wanted to do, right? I want to let you know, thank you for being here with us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us tonight during this podcast right now, right? That means that you are a true. I'm not gonna question your Knicks fandom, but I'm just saying you're here with us.
Don't worry.
Or to quote Jay-Z, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't. But yeah, you're right. Quite. You're right.
The next 4 minutes are for you to it's all yours. The floor is yours.
I don't need 4 minutes. No, I'm chilling. Now we could talk about the scenarios and what we should do for the next game, like our strategy, game plan, especially. I mean,
hold on,
in general, yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but the Game of Life just said we have Hawk fans in here. I want to know who you are. So.
Oh no, he's here. He said it's King Philip. I think he said I'm a Hawks fan and I've been like the stream a long time ago.
So whoever the Hawk fan is, or please make yourself known.
King Philip.
And we can have a conversation. King Philip, if you're still here, post your question and we can have a conversation. I'm just saying.
Let us know. Actually, I want to ask you a few things if you want to answer if you're a Hawks fan. Let us know if you're worried about the next game, your predictions for the series, and if you like what player are you scared of? Like who scares you the most? Besides Randle. I mean if Randle looked off, so Hawks fans are trolling about him, but besides
that's a very good question, Hadouken. That's a very good question. Very good questions. I like that. I like
basically
that.
Give us a mirror view of our team.
But you guys can do the opposite while they answer. Like you say it like to the Hawks side now.
I'm just saying I would like to hear his response, his or her response, and just so you know that to be able to develop the argument as to what they feel versus what we feel. We already know what we feel.
Hadouken, what's your stop Trae Young strategy?
I feel like for Trae Young, we can't slack off a little because we know that he could shoot. He doesn't shoot as much with the way he plays now under Nate McMillan, but we definitely need to start on the top. We'll start on the top where you can't let him get the pick and roll. You need to confuse him. Like you need to get him frustrated so it makes it difficult for him to get that pick and roll off the way he wants to get it off. So that's where I thought Frank could be a good part if we have him out because Frank is a good pick and roll defender, and he could definitely help disrupt that. And then Capella didn't kill us last game, but I expect him to do better next game because it was just an off game. I didn't really even see him like putting up shots like that. I don't even remember him seeing too much in the second half.
Yeah, actually, I was a little worried about Capella, and he was non-assistant last game. Actually,
yeah, don't be surprised if he comes with his average of 14 and 14, because especially with Noel a little wobbly, I'm expecting him to go off a little. So that's someone I'm worried about.
Okay,
we need to watch the paint. Watch the paint because we left a lot of open lanes last game. Just watch the lanes. Like we can't be letting them get wide open layups
and get your rebounds. You know, Trae Young should not get not even one rebound.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm about to do two things here real quick. So I need to address something that's in the chat.
Oh,
Justin
King Phillip
L.
responded, by the way, the Hawks fan. He wrote like a,
Oh, I see
message.
him right now. But before I get to him, I'm gonna get to Justin L. Justin L. said, "Panel, you all take the time to bring us your takes. You take all the smoke. You keep repping us all on YouTube with class and fire and true heart of greatness and fans in the world. Much love." So what I want to do right now is what Justin L asked us to do would be to give shout outs to the people that's on the panel right now: Uncle Freezy, Nick Gas, and Sharon. So you know what we do here. We don't do this just because we want to be up here on the panel so everybody can listen to us talk for hours and hours in the night, right? We're here for you guys to be able to portray what your thoughts are, what your feelings are, and then we give our take on that. And if you disagree, put it in the chat and we can talk about it. Or if you really disagree, get on the link and come on the panel and let's have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. This is not all about us padding egos or none of that. That we are all Knicks fans. First,
and at the end of the day, we also are an NBA fraternity. At the end of the day, so King Phillip, thanks for even coming here. Even though you're the ops, you still the ops.
Just make sure. I don't mind. Who comes up. Just make sure that you respectful. And just try not to be greasy with your language and stuff like that.
Facts.
Just make sure, but aside from that, I don't care if you come on. Just make sure you let Nick Gas talk because he like to talk. Don't cut him off. You just let Nick Gas talk. He like to talk. So
let me read this message after you guys done.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Dookie.
Oh no, you could go and then I'll read his messages.
No, go ahead, Dookie. Go ahead.
All right, but King Phillip said, my prediction is that we should feel settled into the atmosphere of the Garden, and the shooters Gallo, Bogey, and Herder should now get hot next game. And he said the player from the Knicks that worries him is Quickly because he was lighting them up. He's scared that he's gonna have a good game.
So I will respond to Mr. What's his name again? King Phillip. So King Phillip. Hold on. So you're gonna force me to get in my position right now. Hold on. Give me just a second. Let me get this together here. Okay. So first of all, thank you for being in the building. That's number one.
Shout out to him for not being disrespectful.
Exactly.
And not trolling crazy after one game.
Yeah, because there's a lot of those.
Exactly. So what I would tell you, Phillip, is this: your team concerns me. The Atlanta Hawks concern me. Right, they wouldn't be in the NBA playoffs if they were not worthy. I think where they have a false narrative right now is they are taking the performance of the New York Knicks in Game 1 as how we play NBA basketball. That's a false narrative. I'm telling you that right now. Your concerns about Quickly are warranted. I think that the person that you should be more concerned with at this point would be Alec Burks, right? Because just look at the impact he has when he comes into the game. I'm not gonna give you a whole bunch of this, that, and philosophies and all this, that, and the third, right? I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for coming out. I enjoy the back and forth because you get to see how Knicks fans actually communicate with each other, and it tells me a lot about your persona and your personality that you're here with us tonight. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here, and you know what I'm saying. I'm going to tell you this, King Phillip. The Hawks are not a slouch team by any stretch of the imagination. So again, if they were slouches, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. So this is not a team that the Knicks are taking lightly. Trust me, Tibbs is in his bag right now. I'm telling you, the mad scientist is in the dungeon. He's got the door closed with the double locks and the big sliding metal bar. Boom! And he's got the magicians in there. He's got the alchemists in there.
He got his frozen pizza that he got to heat it up by his desk while going over the film, writing down notes.
Facts. I'm telling you, dude. Look, I'm looking forward to the game tonight. That's all I can say, brother. Hey, thanks for being here, King Philip. Thanks for being here.
I just don't want to be down 0-2. That's all I
We-
hope.
Hadouken, that's not gonna happen. I'm telling you right now. Look, you see this right here? Right here?
Nah, I got us winning 100%, but it's
I,
like
I was about to say, I'm about to call Tom Thibodeau and put him at parade rest, and then give him a specific order. I'm telling you, that's what it's coming down to. I'm telling you right now, we will not go down 2-0. We're
I've been
going
thinking about that a
into
lot
the Atlanta
today.
Series 1-1.
I've been thinking like to myself like I'm like, oh, there's a possibility Randall's gonna have a bad game, but I'm like, nah, he's not having a bad game. There's no way in the world he's having a bad game.
Hadouken,
Like,
you
nah.
just mentioned Randall. What do you think about him winning the MIP award? Because we talked about that earlier.
I think it was obvious that he was gonna get it. I'm surprised because Chris Haynes didn't even vote him in on his top 3. Like
Yeah.
2 people didn't vote him in his number 1 for some reason. I don't know how it wasn't obvious. Like he could have gotten a whole sweep, like 100-0. I was surprised RJ got 2 votes. That's kind of interesting to me. I got him winning
that
MIP
tells a
next
lot.
year.
That tells a lot. Do you think they voted yesterday? Do you think they voted like within the last 48 hours? Because maybe
They vote
that big old.
throughout the last few weeks.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
yeah.
maybe that RJ Barrett dunk convinced somebody to be like, you know what? Because that dunk, every time I look at it, I'm like, what is that? Is that the kid growing right in front of our eyes? Like,
I wouldn't be
RJ
surprised
is-
if he goes for it next year. To be
Hope,
honest,
man.
I think he could. And the MVP is probably gonna be announced. When was the 6th man of the year? That was a few days ago, and then the MVP is gonna be in a few days.
It'll be in a few
And
days.
then they go DPOY, and then they go that and coach of the year, blah. But they have like a increment that they go through.
It's all about,
Denver. Sorry.
no, go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's all about what? Sorry.
No, I was going to say it's all about, what the networks need to do to drag this out and keep people watching. That's what it's all about. Because honestly, you would have gave me the entire awardees in one shot, but you're trying to drag this out to keep people watching your channel. Why? For what? We don't care. Hey, well, I'm not going to say we don't care. I don't care. I'm going to speak for myself. I don't care. I give 2. Oh my goodness. So I'm not going to go there either. What I'm going to say right now is this. The New York Knicks fans know how we feel about our team. These outside accolades that people keep trying to thrust upon us and want us to be distracted about, is Tom Thibodeau the coach of the year? For New York Knicks fans, yes, he is. Is Julius Randle an MVP? For New York Knicks fans, yes, he is.
Yeah.
Is Derrick Rose the 6th man? Is he deserving of the 6th man award for New York Knicks fans? Yes, he is. So whatever these outside entities are talking about, I could give less than 2 freeze pops in 80-degree weather melting on the sidewalk. I really don't care. If you don't know what a freeze pop is, you better Google it. I'm telling you right now. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. I need for the Knicks to be focused on one thing and one thing only. Tonight's game.
Just like Julius Randle said, he said, yeah, the award is cool and all, but we got to worry about getting wins.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
G-Man, you just brought out something so special. Like, because, I always talk about how the Knicks organization and James Dolan, everything, he owns everything. He's like a monopoly, He owns the Knicks. He owns MSG. He owns Cablevision, meaning he owns MSG Network. So, but you just added up another one. The fans, the content creators from the Knicks are so good. Like, look, CP, MBK, Legions, Knicks at Night, Morning Drive, J Boogie, G-Man, etc. All of those guys that, like, you know what? Ian Begley had to call in to Knicks Fan TV because Ian Begley, I don't know how to say his name, was not getting enough clout, enough like viewers. So that's another beautiful thing because when you the moniker for this year is we here, right? I watch all of you guys. I used to watch a lot of Terry and Trey.
Mm-hmm.
You know Terry and Trey, the mother and son that they don't look like mother and son.
Yeah.
And during their intro, there's a moment that the mom says, "We're here." You know, like she's like, and it's so funny because when he said it the first time, I was like, hold on, like, you know, because my thing is like, is Julius Randle watching Terry and Trey? Because like, how does he know about we here? You know, like, and that's something that maybe he came out with it himself, but also it's like we have our own little Knicks universe. Knicks tape is a reality, you know, so we don't have to depend on ESPN. We don't have to like at all. So we are the best team in the NBA, and we could say we are the best team in the country, you know, in any sports.
So
Cowboys don't got nothing on us.
Well, don't make me go down that road. I'm not going to take that bait. I'm not going to take
America's team.
I'm not going to take that bait. So, you know, looking at this right here, you know how I feel about that. Looking at this right here, you already know how I feel about that. I'm not going down that path right now. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to transition to Hadouken because I have a question for you, Hadouken. So I've gone on record previously as saying the game tonight, in my opinion, would be better served in going to this game, taking lessons learned from game one, adjusting the point guard position, the starting point guard position. I don't think that's going to happen. So if we go into this game with our original setup, what do you think should be the next step in the rotational process? Because last time, the game one, we learned that bringing Rose in earlier, that's not a good recipe for what we need to do to win the game at the end of the day. So if we start Alfred Payton again in game one, which it looks like that's what we're going to do tonight, what do you think the most logical thing for us to do to be productive moving forward in this game?
If, for example, I mean, the point guard rotation we kind of did talk about earlier, I still think like Rose is gonna come in like 6 minutes in the first quarter. He's probably gonna come out like at 7 or 6 in the second, and then come back halfway into the third, and then he's gonna leave like it. I feel like he gets in and out at the same increments, basically during the game, like we've seen. But I think that if we see that, like we did it a little, we didn't do it too well last game, but if we see that our bench is going on fire, and everyone is hyped, the fans are hyped, we get a rhythm going. Do not substitute them out. Let them play. Let them play the game, because last game Obi should have stayed in longer.
Oh my God.
Obi and quickly, because I felt like, just like we've been talking about how Tibbs wasn't really like playing the smartest there, like with his choices last game. He should have kept Obi in a little longer. IQ in, he was heating up, and he can't take out RJ after that dunk and a 3.
Come on, man.
And give him one more touch after. I actually wanted to bring this up though, because I saw this on Twitter. They said that RJ Barrett has played 7 times against the Hawks, and he had 27 offensive possessions, right? And when he actually like shot the ball, he's 8 of 9 against Trey. So
really,
yeah, he has an advantage. He's an advantage.
8 of 9, but he's gotten that in that position a lot of times when he's guarded by him, but he hasn't gotten the ball. That's the thing that I looked at. It shows me the pattern of what I was thinking like right away after that game, that if we see that happen again, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen again because they saw that RJ was only getting the ball once, they are going to try that if it's a close game, and we need to take advantage. So RJ was asked about this earlier too in the shoot around interview. He's like, yeah, we talked about it a bit, and Tibbs is going to kind of tell us a little more, like we're practicing, we're looking at film, because they asked him about the post up, and he looked a little like he wanted more of it, you know, like
frustrated.
He wanted to score.
So let me ask you this, Hadouken. You say RJ was not getting the ball. Who was the point that was in the game at the time that this was going on?
Was EP in with? No, it was DeRozan because it was the last 5 minutes of the game.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
But it was D-Rose
But it
post
was-
25 minutes. So it was like, you overusing.
D-Rose played 37 minutes last game. He
That's
played way
much,
too
bro.
much. I think we should max them for the playoffs like 30 minutes.
31,
That only makes
32.
sense.
Yeah.
30 to 32. But the thing that happened with that is that it was Tip's fault for not calling it out during that 5-minute increment in the timeout, saying, "Oh, okay, you see RJ if he gets a mismatch again with Trey, use that to your advantage." And it's also
But-
on the team for not passing it to him when they saw that matchup. And
And
they
that's
were
when
looking through this
and
not
that's when
being
I
able to
disagree
find
with
shot.
that's when I disagree with G-Man's lineup, because when we was talking about the starting point guards, the G-Man said bring in Rose like 8 minutes in the first quarter. I say don't bring him in the first quarter at all.
Not what
Oh, I mistaken? Did I misspoke? My
did.
bad.
You did.
My bad. Sorry. Hey,
What I
defamation
said.
of character.
What I said was, if we insert IQ into the lineup, IQ plays Alpha Pate's minutes. So that
Yeah,
means,
you did say that. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
that means that Derrick Rose comes in at the regular rotation with the second squad. So there will be no disruption to when Derrick Rose enters the game and how many minutes he plays. There's nothing.
Oh, okay.
There's
I
nothing
misunderstood.
different.
You're right.
The only difference is IQ is running a point versus Alpha Pate.
Yeah, like that's what we were thinking about Hadouken. We didn't have EP in mind at all. We just had like started with IQ, which I agree with G-Man. Start
You
with
said
IQ.
you want to start him? That's what you said?
Well, we just don't want to play EP.
Were you talking about it earlier? Because I missed it. If you guys want to restate like what you said.
So real quick, what I said before Hadouken was this: I want Alpha Pate out of the lineup. I want IQ in as a starting point guard, playing IQ minutes, meaning 12 to 15 minutes a game, and that way, if IQ needs to come in and spell the second squad, he still have the legs to be able to do that. Derrick Rose is still getting Derrick Rose minutes, and that rotation is not upset, right? So we are still playing Knick basketball, but
Who are
we
you
have
subbing
someone.
in though? If you take
So-
EP out the lineup, who are you subbing
If
out?
I'm taking IQ out of the second lineup, I'm putting Frank in. I'm going with Frank. So, and this is the important part, right? I don't know what Frank's going to give us. I have no idea. I really don't know.
The most 9 points. The most 9 points.
Well, I'm not even going to say that.
I don't care. I'm gonna be honest. I truly don't care if Frank doesn't score. I just want him to guard that pick and roll. Like it's asking way too much.
Facts. That's the whole point.
Because he's gonna get those open threes. Because I don't count him as a point guard either. Like I realized this year truly that he's not a point guard.
Right.
And I see him as a 3 and D. And if he gets that open shot, he got to be confident, which we see him confident. Like the games that he has played with that little step back if he comes off the pick, that his jumper looks a lot smoother and he looks a lot more confident. I'm hoping that if he is open, he settles for that, and then he tasks on ball on the top. So whoever has ball and they see Capella coming up, they see John Collins, Okongwu, whoever it is, stay right in between that or try to go over it and try to disrupt it. Don't let it happen.
Yep.
You got to watch it out. That will be the best part for that.
I agree 110%. So to your point, I would say this. I would say that, and one of the things that I wanted to bake into the rotation with IQ starting was this. And there's a reason that I want to limit the minutes that he's on the court. Because if, for whatever reason, Frank is not producing or Frank is not giving us that defensive paralysis that we need, we're going to need IQ to come in and provide the offense to keep us balanced in the game plan, right? Mm-hmm. So, but I truly believe, this is in my heart of hearts, I believe that Frank is hungry enough right now that whatever Tibbs tells him to do when he comes in the game, it's going to get done. It's going to get done.
Yeah, that's a good
Frank
idea.
is in the building. FIBA Frank.
But we already know that he's not starting. I mean,
no,
that AP is starting.
Oh no. That's not. No.
it is what it is at
I did
this
say
point.
that. Never mind. I did say that. That's why Freezy. I almost gave Freezy a heart attack by saying that
Yeah.
French should start.
Yeah, but I didn't what's it called now? I mean that is a good idea, but we're definitely not doing something like that again,
Yeah.
unless it probably is gonna happen. If it happens next game, worst case
But
scenario.
worst
If it
case
happens,
scenario is EP starting. That's what I'm trying to say. Worst case scenario, because
the thing is for me that he should be EP for me. Like coming into the season, coming into the series, I thought that he should be able to go attack Trae Young, especially because Trae Young is obviously like he's not tall. He has I think statistically one of the worst. He has the worst defense in the league. I think he's one of the
yeah,
worst defenders in the league. You got to put EP to him towards him because thing is that EP is like he's very good at slashing but not finishing. But if you got someone like Trae Young is not doing anything against him. And since everyone else on the court for us, besides him and Noel can shoot, you got
yeah,
other guys open and you got mismatches with Trey if they decide to switch off. So either
yeah.
way,
Now
it won't work out for them.
Trae Young doesn't have that crazy athletic build. You know how like RJ Barrett's build that you're like, wow, like next year when he pumps up a little bit, or even IQ, he's a little bit skinny now, but next year or 2 years from now when he puts some weight on, he's gonna be a monster. But I was looking at Trae Young's father, like they're very short technically to be a basketball player. So
Yeah.
he's not intimidating. That's what I was looking for. He's not an intimidating character.
Yeah, I just thought about it like that because if EP really does show up and he starts attacking the paint and not doing it in a forcing way, if he got Trae Young on him and he scores on him maybe like 2 times, and they decide to switch off from someone else, like maybe Porter switches off and starts guarding EP. If he starts getting killed if he starts killing Trae, you got the other guys with mismatches against Trae Young, and you got shooters open. You could like try to work it out if he really plays well.
So guys, I'm gonna give you this take right here,
and be quick because A-Shar is in the building. A-Shar is in the building, about to turn it off. So listen, I already feel A-Shar.
This is what I would say, right? We know what the New York Knicks have done throughout the season to be able to win games, right? And we know we have a head coach that is ingrained in the things that he's done, the proven aspects of the game, and that's what he's going to continue to follow. And as hurtful as it is to my soul to admit that Hadouken Sharon is probably correct and Alfred Payton will start tonight.
No, he brought me to reality. I was dreaming. And I was American Dream, and then he came here with his Russian truth. The Russian in him was like, no, we're starting who we're starting. And you're right. You got it. Hadouken. You got it.
I was there too, and and thinking about. So I had to put myself in a little place to be okay with seeing Alfred Payton in the starting lineup tonight. I don't know how I'm going to do that. It's going to take me some time today to process this.
Well, Nice said he's not going to watch the game, so I'm sure he's lying. But Nice is like, I'm not even turning off my TV. He lying.
Nice is lying. He's lying. He's going to watch the game because
I can never miss a Knicks game, no matter what. Even when we're trash, you can't do that.
Yeah. So I would say this is what I would say. Right? We understand. I say we as Knicks fans understand all the repercussions and things that have transpired between game 1 and now. We all have our own internal clocks to say what needs to happen to be better going into game 2. Even King Philip, shout out King Philip. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being respectful first and foremost. And you're welcome at any time, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Come back. And we can chop it up any time. But what I would say is this. We have to be realists as Knicks fans as well. So game 2 for me is all important. There's nothing more important than game 2. Because in game 2, that lets me know that we have been able to analyze what happened in game 1. We've been able to adapt and then develop a game plan to say this is what we're going to do to overcome what this hurdle is. And then that's the foundation. That's the foundation right there. The foundation is
Facts.
not what we did in during the regular season. That's irrelevant right now. We know how we got to where we are right now, but this is playoff basketball, ladies and gentlemen. Playoff basketball is ratcheted up like 3 or 4 levels, right? So the things that you were willing to let go back in the day, that's no longer an option. That is no. If that's an option for you, you're gonna get fired. You're gonna be looking for a job tomorrow. I'm telling you right now. These players are in their heads. They're practicing and they're figuring out what they need to do to get this next win. I'm telling you right now, the New York Knicks are not gonna go 0-2 in the Garden with 15,000 fans. Oh my God,
If they do, that's just an embarrassment.
it is. And
It's
and we
like true embarrassment.
we've been embarrassed far too long. Far too long. I truly believe in my heart of hearts this this right here. The Knicks are going to come out tomorrow night, and this is how you're going to be able to tell everyone that watches the game when these guys come out of the locker room. Look at their faces. Look at the conversations that they have. That's important. I'm telling you right now. That's important.
Yeah.
We we're going to win this game tomorrow night.
I don't know if you guys. I didn't really hear too much about Bullock because Bullock struggled and he didn't really do well last game. We need him to hit at least like
Well,
2 threes and try to play a little better defense. I don't know.
Duke, and
Like
I brought up
he wasn't playing well at all.
that Bullock Bullock made a comment on Trey Young's Instagram post in which he was going to Olive Garden, and he basically put like the emoji of like a hand writing down, basically like, okay, I got you, like, okay, I'll see you next game. So I don't think he's gonna be with Twitter fingers, and he's not gonna back it up. So I think Bullock and Randle are took accountability, and I believe that they're not. It's not gonna be a back to back of the same. So I don't think so. Randle might drop at least 32 points, and Bullock needs to give me at least 18 points.
18. I'm not looking for
Yeah.
18. I'm just hoping he hits like a few threes and like gets defensive stops. And if he needs to take someone who's on fire that we didn't expect to be on fire, he picks them up like he usually does. That's what I'm hoping for because